We have a special guest in studio.
You do?
We do. Can you believe it?
Holy shisa.
I know. Who could that be? This is...
I don't know. Can you curse on this right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, I cursed in German, so I don't think... maybe we'll pass this.
We're with Daryle Lamont Jenkins.
Daryle Lamont Jenkins. You may have seen him in such movies as the alt-right Age of Rage, as well as Skins, as well as... What else do you do? You do a bunch of stuff. One People's Project.
Yeah, One People's Project. Also Idavox.
Idavox, yeah.
I had a TV show that went to pop before it even aired called Generation KKK. Long story. And there's a few other documentaries and news broadcasts and that I show up in every now and again. So hi,
welcome. So
welcome.
Where did you came up from? What was it, New Jersey today?
Yeah, One People's Project is based in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and I figured it would be a good idea to just come up and see what's going on, because one of the things that has really been annoying me is that all the stuff that's been going on in Boston, I haven't been up here to see anybody yet.
True, yeah.
So it was.
You made it to Rhode Island, though. You were there for the Resist Marxism.
Yeah, I was there for Resist
October
Marxism.
6th, 2018. I remember that
I was
one.
definitely there for that, and there was a whole lot of stuff that was going on there.
Hell yeah.
And that made me realize that I can't just stay in Philly or Jersey or wherever the hell I'm at.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I met Alan Swinney down in Providence.
He was there. He was
Joey
early
Gibson.
that day. He was early.
Yeah.
Remember him? Because I was early.
And then he showed up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
he
that's
showed
true.
up in Philly like a week or so ago. Later after that.
Yeah. No, but the thing that I remember that really stood out about that October 2018 rally is Alan Swinney just stood there in front of the Capitol building for like a full hour. We got there early, and he had the full looking from like he's from Flash Gordon. Remember the bad guys of Flash Gordon? He has the big helmet on, and he's just standing there. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And afterwards, we all found out, it's Alan Swinney, because there was that huge melee that went down that day. It was, Tiny Toisi just started punching people. Greg Housh was there. He filmed it. Jen Patrice filming it. All kinds of, and obviously Joey Gibson, the Proud Boys. You had Brandon Navom, Samson Rachapi. The gang was all there. Mark Zahadi.
The usual suspects.
The usual motherfuckers were just fucking doing their little bit. Whitewashing Nazism, and that's the weird thing about them. It's like most of them aren't full-on Nazis, but then John Camden was there, and he's like, "Yo, motherfucker, I'm the head of the New Hampshire branch of the Patriot Front." That was an ill day. It was crazy.
Nah, it was crazy. I was very happy to be there. I rapped to Joey Gibson for a little bit. I rapped to Tiny for a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Afterwards, I remember we went down. You and I went down on the street, and you were asking about Jeremy Christian. You were getting in Joey's face about Jeremy Christian.
One of the things that I've been trying to tell everybody when it comes to Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys, just remember they're gonna lie. Proud Boys lie.
Yeah.
Say it with me now.
Yeah.
Proud Boys lie. Every time they come out of their face, just expect that, because I was watching Tario in an interview recently, and he was Henry Tario,
the head of the Proud Boys. We know he isn't. He's the replacement for Gavin McInnes.
Actually he was the replacement for neo-Nazi Jason Van Dyke, who was the replacement for Gavin McInnes.
Someone has to take a dildo up the ass. It's not going to do itself.
Fair enough. I don't even know what that means.
I'm lost.
Yeah,
you didn't. Gavin, the guy.
I know what he did on his podcast.
I know what you're
So Gavin McInnes is not currently the head of the Proud Boys.
He sure is. He sure is.
You know what? He's saying that he's not.
Come on.
I just say Proud Boys lie.
Proud Boys lie.
I'll say okay.
People like doing a major time or something, like in New York.
We can't hear you when you're not on mic.
Yeah, hang on one sec. I want to clarify who is the current official Proud Boys
Henry
head.
Tario.
That's the one.
Who calls himself Enrique Tario.
Okay.
And he's supposed to be the head, and he pulled some crap. I was listening to him in the interview, as I was saying before, and he was talking about Portland and the thing that they just had in Portland, and they had it in a park that wasn't the original location. They moved it to a remote area, and anti-fascists out there were just like, we're sick of these bastards. We really just don't have time to waste with them anymore. So they held their thing in another park called Peninsula Park, and they said, look, we aren't going to give them what they want. And Enrique, decided to go on this podcast and say, the reason why they went to Peninsula Park was because I went into one of their chats and I let it slip that we were going to be over there, so they all came over there, and I knew that they wasn't going to have enough time to get over to Delta.
Oh man,
I was like, third finger from the left, you piece of shit. No, stop lying.
That is some mean girl shit, to be honest. Actually, that's interesting. We've had experiences organizing against the alt-right in Boston where, we've had false alarms or sort of we didn't think something would be a big deal, and then actual bona fide NSC 131 Nazis show up, and, we got Nazi alert, we got to go, let's roll, let's go out, So how do you feel about, do you think that, I might know the answer, but do you think that showing up to counter gives them what they want?
Showing up to counter does not give them what they want. Otherwise, they would be telling us exactly where they were going to be.
And they started canceling after Quincy.
That's right. And now they're private on Facebook, a lot of these events. They made them private.
But here's the thing. I think that as far as we're concerned, we can do a lot more than just show up whenever they say they're going to show up. We have to start working off their timetable. We got to start working on ours and start showing up whenever they don't expect us, And that doesn't mean bum rushing their homes or any kind of whacked out crap like that.
Definitely
I'm just talking about that's where doxing comes in. That's where just knowing who they are, what they're about, and ruining their lives that
where they work.
Yeah.
Get them fired.
Exactly. See, the thing is, every time they show up, that's called welcome to my file cabinet.
Yes.
I mean, you have already lost the moment I see you.
Yes.
That's the real. Because if I see you, I know that you are an asshole that I got to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I feel like there's a lot of them that feel similar about... it's weird.
There's a weird friend of me thing going on. It's like people, weird. And and I feel icky.
Yeah, I don't want to know too much.
Get away! You're so horrible.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we compliment the silly string stuck in their beard or whatever.
Oh, silly string is the greatest.
Silly string.
It's always good whenever you can ridicule them somewhere at some point.
That's the thing.
I can't believe you didn't get grabbed by the cops. That was pretty funny.
Oh, well,
we played nice today. It was all right.
Oh, they did grab me for a bit.
Yeah. No, I'm talking after you silly string the guy right next to you, the cops standing right close to me.
Yeah, they grabbed me. They did grab me.
Yeah, they did.
And then they let me go. They put me in an arm lock and they threw me. Then they let me go.
Was that earlier or was that after the silly string?
Oh no, that was the first silly string.
Okay, no, I'm talking
the
about
silly string incident.
I know they did grab you at that one point. And I said, dude, they're freaking onto you. You're getting
yeah, that was the first. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
So back to white supremacy, and the growing amount of white supremacists in this nation. We've been following this stuff for a while. Rod and I, here in Boston with Super Happy Fun America, as well as other, parts of the country, Proud Boys, all that stuff as well. You've been documenting and speaking about the white supremacists for quite a while. You're like an expert on this. So do you think that this is still growing, or what?
I don't think it's ever been growing, to be honest with you.
You don't think it's been growing?
I think that it's just a bunch of jerk-offs that were always online all this time. They're just getting louder. And what's going to happen after Trump leaves, whenever that is, either this year or next year, or this year, next year, or in 2024 or in 2034. I mean,
yikes!
Because he might be.
Don't say that.
Hey, it all depends on us.
Yeah,
it all depends on how much ass we kick.
Dire.
I think once he's gone, they're going to want to retreat, and then that's the end of it. But that does at the end of this chapter. I should stress, because it doesn't mean you don't keep fighting them.
What do you mean? Because they don't have their buddy in the White House, all of a sudden they're going to backpedal and be like, there's the guy that's kind of behind their little brother or behind their big brother.
Yeah, I think they're going to do that. I think, what they're going to do is what they were doing before Trump came into office. They're going to try to do all the plausible deniability games and say that, I wasn't a part of this. I'm not a part. See, that's one of the things that I was asking earlier today, because like I said, I don't know them I don't know the Boston crowd as well as or I should say the New England crowd, because a lot of them from New Hampshire.
As well as we do, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know them as well. I don't know them as well as y'all do.
Man.
Which is why I was asking earlier, before we even came downstairs, how many Proud Boys showed up. And the reason why, and I know that they are kind of like Proud Boy adjacent to begin with.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the reason why I asked in particular is because I'm starting to notice Proud Boys ain't flying their yellow and black colors anymore. Not
That's
as much
true.
as they used
They're
to.
really not. So in the core group, so it was Super Happy, and before that it was Resist Marxism. Before that it was Boston Free Speech, and they were the group that put on that thing after Charlottesville, which Monica Cannon Grant organized a counter protest, which was 40,000, depending on how you count it. But the thing was, that was Brandon Nave. You got Samson Rachapi, you got Mark Zahadi,
John Hugo,
and Medlar. John Medlar is a card-carrying Proud Boy, but Medlar doesn't come out to him. Any of the Proud Boys who are card-carrying don't seem to come out to these things. The NSC, now they show, that's the National Socialist Club 131.
Nationalist Social Club.
They come out, and you hear Samson denouncing them. You were buddy with them a year ago, right. And it becomes very confusing, trying to determine which faction of these kind of Nazi adjacent people, they
can't even get along with each other anymore.
Exactly. Oh, and that's the other thing is that they're all saying you're FBI, that guy's FBI. You had Mike Mora bum rush we had a screening of my movie, Press Majority, which was documentation from 2017 to 2019 up to Straight Pride, and it wasn't meant to be a premiere. It was kind of like a sneak peek. A local group. There's some trans activists that just wanted to show it. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. And then Mike.
They showed up.
Yeah, Mike Morris showed up with Patrick, the skinny dude with he always wears the Viking hat. But anyhow, so, some of these Nazi motherfuckers, and then Samson gets on the live feed of my live stream of the Nazis showing up, the card-carrying Nazis.
Yes, literally they were flying swastika-looking flags.
It was like this back and forth, and I'm like, who are these motherfuckers here? And then they're both yelling at each other, who's the FBI informant?
Oh God!
And then I remixed that into the new version of the documentary, where I'm like, okay, so now they're just doxing each other on my live streams,
right.
So it is very confusing as to exactly who is who and what is what.
So I noticed that the one thing is the left wing, there's sort of like two. Basically, the left wing gets caught up on what is blank, whatever group this is, and what's the true version of it. The right wing does the opposite, where they basically kind of splinter, and they keep going into these little things. Like I saw this really good documentary on the 3 Percenters, and that's literally what it says. It's like these people just start splintering off, and it's often as simple as I came with that guy, I'm leaving with that guy. So it's kind of like these two things that the one group just bogs down in a quagmire fighting over the original thing, and the other one just keeps splintering apart.
Yeah, I think
two sides of the same coin.
There's a good reason for that, and that's one of the reasons why I brought up the whole thing about the Proud Boys not wearing their colors. After they got pretty much called out in the presidential debate,
which was very vindicating.
Yes,
for everybody that's followed them.
I
know,
but
right?
It scared the crap out of them because they know how to put on a good face. Right. They do know how to put on a good face, but it can still be broken.
Right,
and they know that, and they know that that the gig is up. Because it was this time, now now they're on everybody's radar.
Now everyone knows who the Proud Boys are.
And now everybody's going to be using them as the latest boogeyman. And when they become the latest boogeyman, that becomes a lot of fun. Because they're going to be so easy to F up. I mean, I make this point all the time about Proud Boys, and in particular Gavin McInnes. You're talking about a dude. I'm gonna say the spiel the way I normally say it. MS-13 founded in Los Angeles, but the founders were El Salvadorian, and
really,
they come from El Salvador.
Well, they have the established Mexican gangs and they have the established black gangs. So the Salvadorian immigrants come in and they're getting beat on by both sides. So they basically form their own group so they can just walk down the block, and that's the MS-13.
Yeah.
And so people try and demonize Salvadorians are coming in here. I'm like, that's an American gang.
But here's the fun part about that: they deported the founders.
Yeah, and then they spread. That's how they spread it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then,
but let me get to my point right quick. Let me get to my point. Gavin McInnes is from Canada.
He
is.
Oh man, that's right.
And he himself calls the Proud Boys a gang. He himself calls for violence against people who they are going after her all the time politically. Yeah. So basically, what he is doing is criminal as far as what crime should amount to around here.
Well, that's the thing is, I think that was I don't know what you're saying is true one way or the other.
Oh, it's true.
What I'm saying about how like now you think that they're kind of going to be in flight because of that. Because in a way, once
I get that.
You're being going to be mentioned in the same breath as the Klan, as the neo-Nazis, the sovereign citizens, these bona fide actual, you're going to be on the Fed's radar. You know what I mean? And,
but that's
like a whole other, so it's all fun and games and being like, yeah, being coy, but once you actually get that friggin' beat on you, now you know this shit's real.
Yeah, and I think that beat is on them now because...
that's what I'm saying.
If you got Biden, I mean, not that I'm putting too much stock in Biden, but all I know is that... whatever happens, if Trump does in fact lose and we don't have to deal with him in 2034, my attitude is, all right, I'm going to use this. If I'm supposed to be famous and have all these connects, I'm going to use the freaking connects and say, yo, let's just drop them down a deep hole. I mean, I don't want to suggest law enforcement or anything like that. I mean, there's so many different avenues that we can use before we get to them, but they are going to use them.
Right.
If they want to come after them, and they're gonna hit them with RICO laws. They know this. They're gonna hit them with RICO laws, and I'll tell you something. There's a few cops that are gonna go down when they do that. If things are done properly.
I don't know. I don't have any faith that Biden would do that.
That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why I say I'm gonna do what I can to stay on to keep them on top of that. Because one of the biggest problems that I'm concerned about is that when Trump is in fact out of there, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are thinking, oh well, it's all over.
Racism's over. Congratulations, we won.
Well, that's why in 2016.
But Black Lives Matter. It does.
Well, that's why I said in 2016 I'd take Trump 10 times out of 10 before Clinton, because I say Clinton, everyone's going to be, just go back into a coma, and I say Trump, we might actually have a shot at having a revolution.
In the documentary, they showed me talking to some people at the American Renaissance Conference, the protest outside.
Jared Taylor, yeah.
And one of the lines that I pointed out was that there were people that were carrying signs in 2017 that said, "If Hillary was president, we'll be at brunch right now." And I said, "No.
There's no time for brunch anymore."
You would be at brunch. I would be still going after Richard Spencer and wishing that you would pay attention to this crap.
Yes.
You were talking about it last year.
Exactly
you know how dangerous it is.
Well, that's exactly what I said.
They're not doing that after this bullshit. I'm sorry. We cannot let them do that.
I do think it's woken up the younger people who usually traditionally don't vote at all. Mm-hmm. I think they're really waking the fuck up. with like gay rights, abortion, stuff like that being on the line.
To some extent, yes, especially when it comes to the Supreme Court. Yes. There is some.
Like when Bush got reelected, it was because the youth didn't show up to vote. Well, and I'm saying I don't think that's going to happen.
There was a lot of why because
I'm talking about when he got reelected.
When Bush got reelected, it was because the presidential candidate at that time sucked.
Well, but look at Biden. This is like Biden 2.0. You know what I mean? This is Kerry 2.0.
Democrats aren't really batting 1,000 here when it comes to that.
No, every poll says Bernie would have had a walk-on victory against Trump. If we had Bernie and we had something to offer them, especially during the COVID crisis, all of a sudden, healthcare wasn't looking too bad. If we could have had someone actually package it, before they grabbed the narrative back, and now it's like, liberate Michigan, liberate.
But here is where I know I brought up Trump and I brought up holding Biden's feet to the fire, but the bottom line is. The straight up bottom line is, in the end, it doesn't matter who is in that office. It matters what we do.
That's
it
true.
matters how we put our own feet to the fire.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. People are saying Biden's going to be held to the fire by AOC and.
We'll see about that.
No, you can't.
We got to keep the pressure on in those.
Yes,
we got to keep. Literally what I'm saying.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
hopefully. I'm just saying you have more faith than I do.
No,
I don't think so.
Not faith. Not faith. I just have to say, okay. Let's see if we can use them. Not faith. I pretty much expect nothing.
Right. And you're not wrong. So, back on that, I don't want to make this into too much of an electoral discussion because...
Get out and vote.
Fuck them. Yeah, get out and vote, especially in a swing state.
But don't think it stops there.
Memes.
It doesn't stop there. I have, obviously Trump's a crazy asshole white supremacist, like obviously he sucks, right? Like, we burned an effigy of him, and I pulled out a chicken heart out of my Trump surrogate's chest today, full of fake blood, and did in the chaos magic fashion in order to try to invoke some sort of great justice upon our White House in some way. Praise be the chaos gods. But anyway, with regards to electoral politics, this is something that I have lost faith in. As somebody who's been on the streets doing things for so long, Occupy, all this stuff, and at the same time, during COVID especially, seeing how our government has abandoned us, and seeing that what I'm seeing as effective is people loading up community fridges, delivering medications to old people who can't leave their house. We were ground zero in Boston, loading up food delivery for the food pantry. Just like basic, you want to
helping your neighbor.
Helping your neighbor. You want to call that anarchy? I want to call that being a decent person. And I'm not saying this to be like, not like fiery. Obviously, hold white supremacists accountable, but we can count on ourselves all around.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because there are some efforts that I'm doing beyond just chasing after.
It's always fun to chase Nazis around.
It's always fun. It's always fun to destroy them.
Yes.
But then there's also the point where you do have to build.
Yes.
And I'm with an organization. Besides all of this, there's a coalition of us around the country calling ourselves the Anti-Fascist Unity Coalition. Publicly, we call us. Publicly, I like to remember that it's AUC.
Okay, AUC.
AUC, the AUC. But if you're amongst us, we call ourselves AFUC.
AFUC. So, yeah, that's the thing. I always, I do a lot of anti-eviction stuff. Just here in Boston, that's a huge issue. The moratorium ran out yesterday.
Right.
People are going to start leaving their homes during a pandemic, as it's going to spike again. Which they shouldn't. They need to stay there. Right. We need to blockade. We need to have a party to keep them there. Deliver the pizza to their family. Take that back. But so all that also coincides. It's not like, and people like you as well, you're doing community work with neighbors, friends, whatever, this is the people that we're going around, making antics,
that's
chasing Nazis, but there's more to it.
Yeah, but that's why I brought the AUC up and what our efforts is, because it's really important. Over the past several months, we have this, you can go to our website, daysofunity.org.
Daysofunity.org.
Yeah, I should have brought it up to you earlier, but what we're doing right now, we're trying to raise money to help the food banks and the pantries around the country, maybe even around the world, that are depleted since the pandemic happened, because holidays are coming up. And they're not keeping up, not going to be able to keep up the way they used to.
Right.
It's the cold,
Yeah, so we're trying to help. I mean, we got some donations that have come in already. We still haven't broken 1,000 or anything like that.
Right.
But we just started. Like I said, you can go to daysofunity.org. The website is relatively under construction right now, but you can still donate. You can still learn a little bit more. And if anybody wants to get involved with the AUC, just let me know. And
somebody doesn't, necessarily have the means to go out and chase Nazis around.
Right.
There's other ways to help your community.
Yeah, our efforts. Basically, the reason why AUC came about in the first place is because we wanted to do something. When you talk about Antifa is basically underground. We basically just do things in stealth too much. You don't know a lot of us. You don't see us above ground all that much, with the exception of myself and a few others.
Until we get doxxed.
It's like, don't even bother doxing me. I mean, hell, everybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, we didn't want to just be this underground force that just shows up to smack Nazis around.
Right.
Proverbially.
Though it is fun.
Although it is fun, proverbially.
And important.
There has to be something beyond that. I mean, anti-fascism does not just mean just hating on fascists. Anti-fascism also means loving your neighbor, loving your community, loving your society. And we want to do what we can for that society as anti-fascists. We want to be a part of those communities that we are all coming in, that we're all from. And that was why we started this effort. I mean, Days of Unity actually started last year. It was like, for the entire month of October, we was going to be doing these programs and stuff like that. And, like shows and movie
what prompted it?
It was just an attitude. We wanted to just simply do more than just sit and wait for Nazis to do something. You know, we don't
Right.
want to just keep going to rallies and just just yell at Nazis and that's the last.
They're living
hero.
rent free in our head unless we're actually helping people pay their rent.
I mean, we are more than that, and that's
Yes.
one of the reasons why this effort. I mean, this weekend, we had something called John Brown 161. Now, this weekend is the 161st anniversary of the raid on Harper's Ferry. 161 anti-fascist action.
I was going to ask.
So we decided in January we wanted to do something for this weekend, and it was just like the perfect storm. It was the weekend. It was like 3 days that we was just going to have something happening and all of that in various parts of the country. We was going to have a vigil at Harper's Ferry,
Cool.
a march and a rally.
Nice.
And then COVID happened, and then that killed it. So what we did, we came up with a script and said, okay, we're going to do a John Brown radio show. And,
Nice.
And that's what we did on Friday. We released it on we released it on Friday. You can see it on onepeoplesproject.com right now. I'm going to have a new video for it because I got to edit it up because it was a mess. I mean, not a mess. I won't say mess. There was a few glitches. There was a few glitches, and I just wanted to fix them. But we aired it for the first time on Friday, and we don't just talk about John Brown. We also talk about Nat Turner. Both of them would have been 220 years old this year.
Yep.
And we also talked about Gabriel Prosser, Dan Magnavisi, and the Catos, and and it was a good production. We really enjoyed ourselves. Next year is going to be May 9th, which is John Brown's birthday.
Okay.
But it's also the 100th birthday of Sophie Scholl. So we want to try to do something on May 9th of next year. Hopefully COVID will be lifted, and I think I've talked too much.
It's all good.
I mean, I just realized I'm just rambling.
No, it's great that John.
But no, we got plans for the 9th, and we want. If anybody has any plans, we want to do something for John Brown and Sophie Show.
Absolutely.
Well, it's great that John Brown is actually in the collective consciousness because of that Ethan Hawke thing. That's. I mean, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I got to.
I don't know what it is. All I've seen is the promos, but I mean, at least it's bringing into the consciousness of people who are outside of that movement.
Well, it seems to be like sort of a time for biopics. Like remember there was Harriet Tubman too, and among
I
like
love
others.
that. I love that.
Yeah,
film.
I just can't bring myself to watch movies anymore. I used to watch them like all the time.
Oh no.
I mean, I'll watch movies I've already seen. Does that make sense? It's kind of hard for me to really sit down and watch anything new.
Old man
I
shit
know the
right
feeling.
there. Right?
I know the feeling. I'm gonna tell you right now that Harriet Tubman movie was no joke.
Yeah.
The only.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Now I
criticism-
might actually watch it.
Yeah, I mean, the only criticism that I had, I wish they did the River Raid a little while longer. I wish they stayed on that for a little while. But no, that's fine. They just would have made for another 2 hours for that movie. But
have you ever seen Birth of a Nation, the second one? The one the guy got Me Too.
Nat Turner?
Yeah, it's about Nat Turner.
Yeah, I had to stay away from it because
I mean, so you never even seen it? Like,
no, I haven't seen it because of what happened.
Yeah, no, I actually want to see it. Like just as
because of what that happened.
Well, no, because I mean it's a very I mean, how many people have even heard about it?
It was directed and produced. I think it was produced by Nate Parker, who was an actor who played Nat Turner in it, and this was basically his baby. And everybody loved Birth of a Nation. Everybody thought it was a great movie, but then there was accusations that came up.
Oh, like what?
He had allegedly raped somebody back in his college days, and him and his friend was cleared. But the lady committed suicide later, so it was like I gotta pull back on that until it's resolved. I don't think.
Well, I mean, I'm saying maybe you wouldn't have gone to see it in theater, but if it's on like Netflix, well, it's probably not even on Netflix. You probably have to find it on YouTube or.
What I want to do, I mean, I still want to see it, but by the same token, I gotta recognize.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, I can, I don't know. Now is where we get into the sort of thing, but in a weird way, it's almost like if you're not going to see it in the theater and promoting it, I just would like to see it just as its own like standalone piece of art. And because, like I say, this is, I mean, how many people outside of the black community have even heard of Nat Turner or Nat Turner's Rebellion? I mean, you know what I mean? Well, no, the black community.
I would hope that people have heard of it. But.
Well, you'd be surprised.
You'd
be surprised.
No. I mean, you hear things from people like, oh, there was the I don't know. You just hear like crazy things. Like when did Nat Turner's Rebellion happen again?
1831.
Okay, but and I don't know, and it's like, oh, the revolution was like one of the first times anyone's like, and I'm like, are you aware of all these peasant revolts throughout history? Our own like Nat Turner's rebellion, which was kind of almost like Spartacus. Where they're marching on, they're marching on Rome.
Well, I mean, there's the Haitian slave revolt.
Well, that's the thing, and the Haitians were like the only instance of, I think, black people rising up and freeing themselves.
Pretty
much.
And Danny Glover tried to do a
He did?
Tried to do a biopic about Toussaint Louverture, and one of the biggest this goes back about 20 years or so. He had a script and everything like that, and
Mel Gibson came in and dropped the M-bomb and said,
"Well, no, it was along those lines." But what happened was
that's Hollywood, right? I mean,
no, this is Hollywood.
Oh shit!
What happened was the studio execs looked at the script and went, "Where's the white hero?"
Oh, you're right.
In a slave revolt,
right? White savior. Got to have your white savior. Right?
There is this device that they keep on using where they always have that mythical white character that either tells the story besides us,
like Glory.
We try to give our
is the story.
Listen, man, we try to give our bullhorn the minorities, trans, gay, all the we try, man.
But I mean, I like Dances with Wolves as a film.
Oh,
Dances with Wolves, Glory, To Kill a Mockingbird. No. Glory. Listen. He has a point. Dancing with Wolves was a good movie. Glory, I love that movie. But Glory is a perfect example of how they screwed that.
Exactly.
That device screws things up.
Yeah.
Because they based it on the writings, on the letters of Robert Gould Shaw, the Colonel Shaw, who led
Matthew
the 54.
Broderick's character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Beautiful movie.
Yeah.
But because they did it like that, when Robert Gould Shaw died in the movie, that was the end of the story as far as Glory was concerned. So we never found out about what happened, about the fact that, spoiler alert, they weren't getting paid.
I was going to say, who made the most money in that movie?
No, more to the point. I mean, in the scene.
They weren't getting paid.
Do you remember they tore their checks up?
They tore their checks up because they were getting paid less and they protested.
Wait a sec. Is that wouldn't that be like a labor movement? And they don't want to promote that.
Oh,
in
no.
Hollywood.
Well, the movie stopped before
Yeah,
they told people that.
They don't want to go into that.
Well, what happened was, and this is one of the reasons why I'm ticked off about them not addressing that. They fought like that without pay for a year and a half. And then they said, okay, the 54 black soldiers will be paid just as much as white soldiers, and you'll get your back pay. And that wasn't mentioned in the movie. That wasn't talked about because Shaw wasn't alive to see that. Right. And that's just rotten, particularly because the soldiers themselves wrote letters. They could have based it on those soldiers.
There were letters that they could have.
Well, actually, how many of them would have even been literate, though?
A lot of them. Remember, they were coming from the north.
Remember that for slaves to learn to read.
But not all of them were slaves.
I'm not saying
Andre Braugher's character, for example, was from north. He was one of Colonel Shaw's best friends, and he was
the guy with the glasses
there.
in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, honestly, you look at how many blacks were even in the North compared to but you're saying the ones
those that were in the Union Army at the time,
they could have gone off.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I do think movies have been getting better in that regard in some ways, and I do think you'd be much more likely to see something like that made today.
So
go on.
I want to actually talk about this issue of the fact that they're telling the story from the white letter side and nobody else's, especially what one of those I wonder what your thoughts are on especially because what we're talking about is pay, is the story of the workers, right, and how that ties into the anti-fascist movement, and how that ties into as soon as you start talking about the people who have less versus people who have more, versus fair pay versus striking versus all that, that is something that I think that there is a reason that black versus white is used to keep everybody who doesn't have any money down.
Well, see, I'm a guy who's all into solutions. I don't like just complaining about a lot of these things.
Right.
So my attitude when it comes to Glory and them addressing that issue with them,
which I actually like that movie still.
And I'll say it again, I love that movie too. Yeah. I love the movie so much, I like to see a sequel.
Oh, interesting.
Why don't they correct all the mistakes that they made in the first Glory by by doing it from the perspective of those soldiers. They still got those letters.
Right.
That's right.
And we still have those questions, those little cliffhangers. I mean, I would love to see Glory done today.
Interesting.
Because after Black Panther, you have some powerfully talented black actors,
Right.
directors, producers that will put a spin on this that will make us dizzy.
Right. Makes someone dizzy.
I mean,
Well, and it's kind of funny that they were doing it without pay. So effectively, they were literally slaves. So ironically enough, the Union Army was the ones that used actual slave labor for the Army, something the Confederates considered but never actually did. How's that for irony?
Dig.
That's
Like
what I
everyone
mean.
just assumed,
That's
the
what-
Union people were great. No, a lot of them were as racist, if not even more, than the Southerners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the things I was getting at was that aspect of it. A lot of people don't want to talk about, I guess, class.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
I guess maybe.
Have you?
Spoiler alert. There's also a class
but
war.
they can do that.
Right.
That's what I'm
They
talking
can do that
about.
now.
Yes.
Well, have you ever read Gone with the Wind?
I haven't even
book?
seen the damn
I haven't even
movie.
seen the movie.
No,
yet.
I saw the movie, and I actually just recently got done reading the book for the first time.
Wow.
And it's really funny because a lot of these guys, like these slaves, you see the Union soldiers come in, and in a way, they're even more racist than the Southerners, and they're even more and I don't know.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah, and it's more like
They did that on
class.
purpose because you got to remember what Gone with the Wind was about. It was about making
Yeah.
the Southerners look good. So yeah, they're gonna go after. So they're gonna make the Union soldiers look good. I mean, look bad in that
Well-
regard. I mean, they will do that.
But no, I'm just saying, like, you remember the Boston, the New York draft riots? I mean, that was a race riot.
Matter
They were,
of
like,
fact,
lynching- yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, not only do I remember them, that was brought up in gangs in New York.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did that in gangs in New York.
Yeah, and they really kind of, they showed some of it, but they really downplayed, like, just how much of a freaking runaway race riot it was. Like, they burned down a black orphanage. They, like,
Oh, my goodness.
they were lynching people from lamps or whatever you call those lamp posts.
Gaslights or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? But
That's insane.
and they showed it a bit, but some people were saying that it could have, it was even crazier in real life.
So in terms of
But those are the people that were in the Union Army. I'm not. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
so I don't know. We're getting into a lot of like film and book and all
Right.
this topic. What has been some of the your favorite? I mean, if we're gonna go there, let's go there. What has been some of your favorite depictions of history that you've been like seeing on?
film. and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. I mean, a lot of them these days. And I have to apologize because I have this persistent cough. It's not COVID or anything
Oh,
like that.
I believe you.
But I just ran out of water, which has been saving me this
We
whole
have
time.
some.
There's no more. They're looking for it right now. But
I had a sip, but you can have the rest.
that.
Okay.
I'm good.
I don't have anything.
I'll take that. Yes, I'll take that. Yes,
There we
Yeah. this will work for me too.
go. Okay, wet the whistle.
Let me.
We had a lot of yelling to
clear the
do
throat.
earlier, so
It's all good.
Saints be praised.
yeah.
Anyway.
We're gonna go talk
I'll
about.
be honest with you. It's funny too because when you talk about my favorite depictions, as I would say as of late, they just canceled it. Drunk History.
Oh, really? I watched a couple of those, but I didn't get enough into it. Drunk
Yeah.
History.
Drunk History. You
It'll
know,
be back on. That's one. It's the kind of thing that comes and goes, right?
no, they canceled it.
They canceled
Full
it.
on gone.
They canceled Drunk
Pennsylvania.
History, and it was like, and I got a kick out of it because I'm a huge history fan. I love my history.
Yeah.
I especially love documentaries in particular about history. Sometimes I like the actual depictions, but when it comes to obscure history, however, Drunk History touched on that big time, and they did it while drunk, and that was like
That sounds like every day for us.
We're all about that.
We're all about
Yeah,
that.
that's our daily
So I, mean,
life.
I liked the Oliver Stone documentary on Netflix, the like Secret History of America.
Untold
Yeah.
History of America.
Untold
I saw
History
that.
of America.
Yeah,
That
I
was
saw
pretty
that.
good. I learned a lot from
pretty
that
good.
one. It was still like white history for the most part, but
hey, you get it however you can get
Yeah.
it. I mean, my attitude also about that is that I don't mind
I learned about
I don't
vice
mind where
presidents
my history.
that
As
I
lo-
didn't know existed that were pretty like Bernie-esque. That was cool.
Right.
Gene Debs.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I remember there was this one show on History Channel, back when it still did history, and it was really fascinating. They basically went through all the presidents, and they actually would find
I love
people
that show.
like even these like obscure presidents, they would find some historian that would say, he's really underrated, and they'd point out, and they had like very famous actors and
Jimmy
actresses.
Carter was underrated.
Yeah, there were some people who would say that, but anyway, and they would have famous actors and actresses read like letters or excerpts, like I think James Woods was actually the voice of John Adams.
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that document.
It was fascinating.
It was called The Presidents.
I love like straight up history. Yeah.
C-SPAN did something similar too, because back in '99 they did this whole thing where they just every day they went to another president's home to just basically talk about his legacy.
Interesting.
And I thought that was great. Clinton was still president at the time, I believe, and. I'm just a nut when it comes to history. I mean, when I go to
I
each
see
town,
you do your morning walks, and even when you go on your morning walks, you're pointing out historical sites,
right?
Which shows that it envelops every part of your life, even the fact that you're just going on your morning stroll.
Or he's like,
you got to bring history into it.
Or he's like a Black Sheldon, where he's like, here's an interesting bit of trivia.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I don't even watch Sheldon, and it's like, that's exactly what I do. My friend Jenny, who had actually told me to do these walks, excuse me, she's getting really sick and tired of all the Revolutionary War stuff.
Well, that's what all the blacks are about, right?
We
killed some natives here, we killed some natives there, and then the British came and we killed them too.
Hey, George Washington slept all over New Jersey. I couldn't help it, But there's
you have the reenactors like they have in Boston, some places.
We do, but I never really sought those out.
Yeah,
but there is some because we have like not too far from New Brunswick is Princeton, and they have this huge Princeton battlefield,
right?
And I think that they do something right there.
Well, I just remember in Boston, I was down there one time, and I just happened to come across these reenactors. It's an officer, and I think it was only 2 soldiers, but she draws his sword, and the way they go, and then the way they go forward, and they just kind of come forward. Maybe it's just because of all the shit I've been doing, the last 10 years. But it's like all of a sudden you're just it just kind of hits you. When you see this, you're like, yeah, this was no freaking joke. Like a lot of people say, you'll like this if you don't know this. You ever heard of the Battle of Golden Hill?
No.
It's, again, a real obscure, but some people trace the American Revolution back to the Battle of Golden Hill.
Well, it's even the French and Indian War, really.
Well, no, that was sort of,
anyway,
well, basically what happened was there was this place, and they're sort of what the Patriots would do is they would just put up what they called Liberty poles. It's basically like a flagpole without a flag.
Mm-hmm. Then it's like Brandon Navum on a Gadsden flag.
Yeah. So what happens is this guy, the British, whenever they came and they saw that, they chop it down. So they went and they chopped it down, and then they put it back up, and then they came and very publicly chopped it down, and the guy who was in charge proclaimed, "You would stake your liberty upon a piece of wood," and this crowd just charged them, and I'm talking multiple people were killed. I mean, it sounded like it was more like, probably musket butts and just straight up, more people died there than probably the Boston Massacre. And some people say that's actually where it began before the Boston Massacre, which is where most people say.
I don't know if we're getting too far off of topic here, but do we want to hit up? Because I don't know how much time you have either.
I'm good right now. It's 4:48.
It is.
I feel like we should touch on.
We've been rocking for about an hour and a half already.
Maybe I don't.
About
time flies when you're having fun.
Indeed.
But still, I feel like we should watch some of the stuff that went down today and just kind of.
Yeah, let's take a look. I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss out on any of that. So.
Yeah. You were there.
Yeah,
no,
but it's
up,
fun watching the replay, the instant replay, because then they'll say some crap that I missed and say, "Oh, you said that to me."
Yeah. So
wait till I see your ass again.
So what you want to do is pop on your phone so you can see what's going on. I'm gonna switch it over to the other scene, which is scene 2 here, and you'll be able to see.
Yes, full screen.
Yep, I'll do it. I got it. So hopefully you can see that on your end.
Not yet. Not yet. Nope. You switch the scene back.
All right, hold on.
I'm coming back. I just need to show.
Okay. So yeah.
So are you?
Unless I'm delayed, it could be me.
It might be delayed a little.
It is delayed. Okay. Yep.
So, but are you able to see something's going on with the protester?
Hold on. Let me switch over to you. Hold on.
Do that thing where you do the widescreen.
Tech support.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah.
Tech support. It's like weirdly sad.
Alright, well, let's get in.
Why we have that constant issue. That's what it's looking
I think
like.
it's frozen.
It's like frozen.
Oh, okay, well, that might be just a little behind. I don't know.
Wait, it has a delay. Sure.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about the delay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a delay.
All right, so
Yeah, we'll see if it moves along.
you'll see what you see, and let's just as far as the audio, try to just pay attention to what is coming out for the sound over here, I guess. All right. Or maybe you can see over here, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, jeez.
What the fuck they doing in here?
Hello.
Oh, is this what you
Oh, now the fucking sound's messed up.
It's going to be delayed.
No, but I can't hear my own sound here.
All right. We need to come up with a plan. We need to get everyone together.
Daryle, can you talk? I don't know. I don't know if we
Yeah.
just lost our own sound now.
Nah, I mean, you need to hit me. I sound okay.
Embry, we need to. I know what the fuck's happening.
Okay.
Embry's magic.
We just kill everything.
No, that sounds good. I mean,
Punk rock.
Yeah, no. Wow, what the hell did you do?
This is punk rock radio, people.
Hold on. Hey. Shifting the screen, you bumped something.
Maybe I bumped something.
Hold on. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, we're good. I can hear it now.
Good. That was
We're
it.
good. I
What
just
did
had
you
to
do?
move it. I just moved something.
Just move something.
I just moved this a little bit. Move the screen. We're good.
All right. Well, let's get
Problem
back to
solved.
it then.
Thank you.
Opa.
Sorry.
That's for me, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank you so
yes,
much.
indeed. All right. We're back to it.
Okay,
Let
We're
me-
back. Go for
All
it.
right. I'm in.
lock and load.
I'm working on it.
I know. Here we go. Sorry, guys.
It's too much going on. Too little
I
time.
know. We got it.
All right, let's
My
review.
camera's busted anyway,
So,
I'm just gonna hop over here.
all right.
Let's make sure to watch the videos and pay attention for fun and friendly faces of fascists.
unfortunately, I can't see it from my end. It's not working on my phone.
Here, can you turn it?
It will. It's a little delay.
I don't know. What? Yeah, we're,
Let's just
Soros. Hey, what?
Oh, that's weird. Look at that. You're frozen, same as he is.
Just listen. Don't. Visual secondary.
Yeah? Good job. Right?
You can come over here if you want.
All right.
Meta.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's
Fuck
Steve
that guy.
Schaefer.
Fuck that guy.
Go ahead. So we're trying to get to the fire here.
So, me?
Yeah, if you want to come over here, Daryle, you can come and just watch over our shoulder.
Well, here. I'm gonna
Here
take
we
it
are.
off, but,
We got it. It's happening.
Yeah, you too. Hit me up.
I will.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. You want to just do it here? All right. All
About
right.
to set shit on fire.
Let's go. No, we can't find them.
Oh, it's frozen?
Put it down.
Really?
Yep, no video.
Let's go. Let's
No
just
video.
do it here. Let's do it live.
All right, hold on.
Do it live.
If there's no video.
There's
oh,
no video now.
Wait,
All right.
no.
All right, hit it back over to scene, regular scene one.
Yep. Scene one.
This
And
is
then
punk
we'll
rock
just stand
radio.
There,
Punk
we'll
rock
just stand
radio,
over there,
people.
and then we'll just watch it.
Oh, I mean, I
there,
see stuff
guess.
here.
I
Yeah,
know, but
that's
I'm
your-
looking at Facebook and it looks like this.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
so like, you basically have your camera here, so swap it back over to Facebook.
Let's just skip it. I mean, it's we were there. We'll just talk. We'll chat about it.
We can
you know?
chat about it. Yeah.
Let-
I'm not
this-
sure why it's
Too much tech shit. Listen,
It's
when
not
we
working. We can
this
just talk
this
about
is
it.
not about us.
This is
like,
how the sausage gets made.
Just talk
sausage has
about
been
it,
made
that's
and-
fine. I'm just gonna pop over here if you want to take my seat. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
gonna sit here next
It's all
to
good.
Lauren so I can
Okay.
pop on a camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Too much tech stuff. It's gonna be okay.
The tech's just
We're-
not
we're
not
moving
working.
on. We're moving on.
Just hand me my drink and I'll just move over here.
Yeah, you can use my
There you go.
That's fine. Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know what it
See,
is
I'm
about
still
the
frozen
maybe it's
over
an
here.
internet
But
issue.
it was good stuff, you know.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So and you're
what
not on
were-
mic, but I mean, we've been.
Let's get Daryle back on mic and let's talk about today.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think about Boston today?
Boston rocks.
Really? Okay.
No, it was this today on a real. I think that this was a, I don't know, benign rally. This
Okay,
is just, this
yep.
is just a chill thing.
It was chill.
to do. A good way to just basically end the season.
End the season.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm
Good
quite
game,
sure they
people.
got some other plans coming up, but I think basically this was just an opportunity for us to just more or less get our final words in before the election.
Okay.
If anything, for me, it was just I think I just looked at today as just being a fact-finding mission for myself because I was like I said, I mean, I'm aware of Super Happy Fun America.
Yeah.
But I never got really up close and personal with them yet. Although
They didn't let us get up close and personal today either.
Well, what's his name?
Clown show.
John something from American Guard. Forgot his name.
Camden.
Camden.
Yeah, he was calling me out once he saw me. I was just ignoring his ass because
He cries. It's funny.
yeah.
We've seen it.
We made it happen sometimes. They wouldn't let
great.
me get close enough.
Yeah, my attitude was, I mean, I wasn't there for him, right? Well,
Yeah.
well, I was, but you know, I mean,
He's not that.
I
Big
had
a
to
deal.
focus. I had to focus because I needed to get his picture and the other people that I saw, like that Eli Laramie character.
Yeah, I actually am not
The
sure.
cigar guy.
So, the guy that I was like, are you dressed like Hitler or Fidel? I'm very confused. Was that the one?
It was yeah. It's
Oh
very
yeah, he had
confusing.
like a Hitler haircut and a Fidel Castro cigar. I was very
No
confused.
idea what was
No,
going on.
the dude I was referring
no?
to, Eli
Okay.
Laramie, was the tall, skinny kid.
Oh yeah, it was tall, skinny dude.
with the necktie,
Yeah,
and the
skinny tie.
and the cross, and the wolves belt buckle.
I didn't notice his buckle, but I feel
I was trying to feel him out.
like this
for the
kinda
most
hair?
part. I got a picture of him
All right.
somewhere around here, but it was kind of like my attitude was this weasel.
That's
right
the
here.
one.
Oh, that
That's
guy,
the. He was. You know him? I don't know him very well.
Well, what happened is I didn't know him at all. I didn't know him at all, really. And the one with the sunglasses.
Oh man.
Well, that was the guy with the cigar. It's the
Yeah,
same
that's
guy.
the guy.
I didn't notice.
He had
I
a
didn't.
cigar later. We were laughing.
I didn't notice
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cigar.
Yeah.
So, but what happened was I put the picture up online, and I got back that his name is Eli Laramie, and that he got a visit back in June by the police because he was on Facebook talking about how he was looking for some people who wanted to be a roof Korean. And
A what?
A roof Korean.
Like the LA riots, all the Koreans that were on the top of the convenience stores are quote unquote roof Koreans.
So like with guns?
Yeah, they wanted to be
Okay,
standing on.
okay.
I mean, it doesn't sound like he owns a business or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. so he basically just wanted to stand on the rooftops and snipe people.
Oh, yep, that sounds about right.
And this is, and I can see. I mean, you're talking about this is just like right when everything started popping off.
Yeah.
This is June, so yeah, everything is going off like crazy.
Yeah.
So I could see him thinking, this is our time.
Oh, they think that a lot. The boogaloo and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I got one of those boogaloo bums in my neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, I'm dropping him. I'm dropping his name. If you go on Instagram and you see something calling itself Gypsy Crusader, he has a number of different variations of it.
Okay.
He lives in a tarot card shop in my town. I mean, his family owns 2 tarot card shops in my
Fascinating.
area. And I watched this guy go from just straight up boogaloo to full on Nazi.
Yep, that's how it goes, though.
I mean,
Yep.
within 2
That's how they
months.
work it.
Yeah.
Within
Yeah.
2 damn months. And I've been saving all of his crap ever since I first came across him.
Yeah.
And he says, so he's sitting there talking about how that fight that the Proud Boys had at the Manhattan Club.
Oh yeah,
he
which was put on by Gavin McGinnis. Oh, it was the Republican Club, but Gavin McGinnis was this, the speaker. That's
Right.
when he brings out the samurai sword and all that shit.
The samurai sword.
Yeah, he
What?
did. Yeah.
Well, he was one of the fighters. He was at that shit,
Uh-huh.
and he didn't get into any trouble or anything like that. But he went around and started doing interviews about how the Proud Boys were attacked. I mean, I think he showed up on Newsmax.
It was bullshit because actually, the New York Times actually published that thing. Afterwards, it was Caleb. I forget his last name, but it was a New York
we know
Times
it's
reporter called
bullshit now.
Caleb, and they showed the security camera, which actually shows that the reason that the Antifa threw the water bottle was because Proud Boys were already charging, and when they give their narrative, it's always no. They always cut that part out.
Let us say it again.
They always lie.
2, 3. Proud
Boys lie.
I mean, the real about it is, this particular dude. I mean, for the record, I don't think he was ever a Proud Boy. But he was part of the whole Boogaloo thing, and he says the Boogaloo is in fact the second coming of the second American Revolution, and that is me. I apologize for that.
Well, I mean, the other thing about that, for those who don't know what the Boogaloo is, and I think that's a confusing thing for a lot of people out there, it came from Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, which was, it was a good movie
Which was
and
a
all
great
that.
meme for a
but
while,
then it
too.
became on 8chan and 4chan and all that stuff. Then they just changed it to Civil War 2 Electric Boogaloo, which at its core, of course, is bringing in racial connotations. And that's one of the things the mainstream news doesn't talk about, the origins of this thing, that it is racist in its inception.
I'm hoping I have something online that I had put on here. He's harassing black people online.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he's harassing
Wonderful.
black people dressed as either the Joker or the Riddler. Don't ask me why.
Man,
But he's
Pick
also
one.
But he's also called for the death of Ilhan Omar. He's called for Bill Gates to be killed.
I don't want to be like them, but like get a job.
Yeah, but see, they want that to be their job. That's the scary part.
I know, right?
Well, during COVID, no one has a good job.
I know.
So
I don't have a job either, but
Yep.
you get a job. Before you tell me to get a job.
Create a business.
Fuck jobs, but seriously, you need something better to do with your time.
Yeah, I was hoping I would have
Write a
something
comic
that
book.
shows him running off the face about his stuff.
Learn how
but
to
I don't
paint.
have it with me.
Yeah,
Get
no,
a hobby.
I wasn't.
Start a
I was
podcast.
making fun of him earlier, but I didn't recognize him. I just thought it was funny that he had a Hitler haircut and was smoking a cigar like Fidel. I was like, you are all kinds of confused.
Pick one.
It was, yeah, I was all kinds of confused.
The whole thing was very confusing.
But we did get the silly string out.
We did get we got silly string all up in Brandon's
Brandon.
beard.
Yep.
Twice.
And the orgy is happening right now at John Camden's house as we speak.
Oh, we're late.
Is he crying?
I believe so, as well as I
Probably
believe
crying because I didn't.
We are late.
I
He
didn't
misses you.
acknowledge him. I didn't acknowledge him. And I think he's gonna. I mean, at least I didn't acknowledge him to his face.
He feels very
I've got all
burned.
this blood all over me still. So there's
still
that.
not as much blood on your hands as Trump.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair
and
enough.
that's what I was saying earlier with the lines that I threw out there to you, that Trump is no more or less evil than any of the other presidents or politicians, that they're just one in a long string of people that are doing the bidding of the military-industrial complex, and Trump dropped more bombs than Obama, and Obama did more than Bush, and et cetera, et cetera.
He's
But
just a puppet.
they're all just puppets, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be calling out these motherfuckers. We should.
Did you see that great Trump puppet today?
Yeah.
Who had
That
that
was
one was
great.
cool.
The
There was a
Alex
guy with a
I saw that.
marionette.
I
It was
saw
like
that.
Pinocchio
I
Trump.
mean, it's like so funny too because I saw it and was like, I'm home now.
Yeah, he kind of, he didn't burn it. He one-upped us with the effigy. He brought the puppet out to dance in the fire. We're like, all right.
I gave him one of my squeaky pigs.
It's not bad.
I just got like.
And for those who weren't there for the fire, that was the thing that we've been planning for a couple of weeks. Came up with a name for our church, which obviously we've been worshiping at for many, many years.
Yeah,
we want
many
that
years.
to be clear and official for our official tax returns. The Sacred Church of Antifa, Soros, Chaos Magic. And we, did a ritual sacrifice of Donald Trump. And you were
I
playing
was
Trump.
Trump, and I had my heart ripped out for the purpose of all that is good to crush all evil bullshit.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
I represented E. Jean Carroll and everyone who Trump has ever laid his dirty mitts on.
And who is E. Jean Carroll?
She was raped by Donald Trump in a dressing room.
True.
She's also an advice columnist.
And the judge has allowed it to go forward to request the DNA stains, which are, the stains on the dress, just like Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there. But lawyers don't put that stuff forward unless they got the goods. So
Yeah.
they got the
Right,
goods.
right.
And so obviously the judge is saying, like, this is real. We need your DNA. And,
Yeah. Well, there's also 32 other accusers of Trump
yeah.
being a rapist, a groper, a creepy
real-
old dude. So, I mean, and I'm not even saying Biden's not, but what I'm saying is Trump, I mean, you can't have 33 women accuse you of rape like that. And like,
And then you're
not
no.
be a stand-up dude. He can't keep his tiny hands to himself. So, in honor of E. Jean Carroll and all the women who have been touched by the hand of Trump in some such way,
You tore out his heart.
I tore out his heart. I hope that in terms of chaos magic, as above, so below, it's some sort of model for some sort of divine justice or chaos justice that will come upon the White House, and hopefully we see retribution
President Mango gets his just desserts.
Just desserts, poetic justice, whatever
And
you
then,
want to call
of
it.
course, and then after that, we had the effigy of Trump and
Yes.
set that shit on
And
fire.
it's Halloween season.
Burn the motherfucker down.
It's Halloween time, so we got to get a little spooky with it.
Throw the MAGA hat in there too. Through the MAGA hat, through the wig, through the tie.
What are we going to do for the holidays? When it's Thanksgiving and
Oh my
Christmas?
God, it's they're too close.
Well, this is
Too
kind of
close.
our early Halloween thing. That was,
This is
you know,
us.
Lauren was suggesting how we're going to get spooky, and that kind of inspired me to have this idea. And on the
Yeah.
flip side of the effigy, you saw it was a skull with the Trump hairdo.
Oh yes, I did
Yeah,
catch that.
it was like a.
And
Y'all would have loved me when Ronald Reagan died in 2004.
Yeah.
I had T-shirts that said "Ronald Reagan rots in hell,"
Nice.
and it had a picture of a skull with Reagan's hair on it.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's like
And this was before I got famous, but the nation actually.
This I don't know if
Well-
you saw it, but that was the
Oh, I
other
saw
side,
it.
Yeah,
I did see it, but Rod was using it as a shield from all the stuff that was happening when y'all were coming in.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
that
had
is
so
true.
much shit. It was like
right when we came in, everything was already going down. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
I painted my face orange for this.
I was looking, I was like, you got a lot of makeup on.
Listen, I normally I can make my makeup look fantastic. I intentionally looked like a clown today.
I was like, okay.
Intentionally looking like a clown today. Trust me.
That's it. I recognize the theater.
I grabbed a raw chicken heart out of Embry's shirt.
it wasn't raw.
It was
Or-
cooked.
It was
Oh, it was,
cooked.
oh, it was cooked.
It would
Okay,
not
good.
do raw chicken.
It was only
So
100
you could have ate it too. It would have been really
I should. I
nasty.
really should have actually. I thought it was raw because
I
it
told you
broke
it was a
apart.
rotisserie chicken from my dinner last night.
Oh, that's why it was so like. Oh, I should have just like thrown that into my mouth and chewed. Oh, well,
Next time.
next time. But that's funny. Yeah, I was like, I got raw chicken on my hand. Oh no. But
salmonella.
yeah, it was. Rod's phone is broken now. We try to do the performance art. I think that with Super Happy, one of the things they did, they had the ugliest floats at Straight Pride.
Oh, they really
They're
did.
really
They're
into
idiots.
theater themselves. They have the stupid John Hugo tri-corner hat, all this bullshit, and it's ugly and it's not very well done. So kind of to one up in a way, like to be like better at like theater or performance than what they do because they're trolls.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're trolls.
Yeah.
So like just troll them harder and emasculate them in the process because they're such tough guys.
See, that's one of the things you remember about any kind of conservative outing. Like whenever Ann Coulter was coming to speak on college campuses, for example, the attitude that you should always have whenever they are there to conservatives do not give two damns about what it is we are saying.
They don't want to
them
talk
or whatever.
policy.
Nah.
No, they just want to clown us. They
Yep.
just want to put on a show for their people.
Yeah.
The way you
Right.
fight them is to upstage
Right.
them.
Yeah,
Well,
upstage them.
And that's the thing. In a post-fact world, it's like the 3 points I keep coming back to. It's spectacle, humor, and trolling.
Yeah,
and that's...
And all they got now is I'm trying to complain about all the violence and all this. I mean, they do this, and
I'm sorry we put silly string in your beard.
yeah, but my attitude is they're not ticked off about the violence.
No, they're not.
Conservatives are not ticked off
No.
about the violence. They're ticked off that it's not them doing it.
Right.
Really. I mean,
Well, it is a lot of
Well,
times.
yeah. It is a lot of times they don't want to talk about it, but
Charlottesville, Jeremy Christian.
Yeah, I mean, they started it.
The Sikh temple incident. You've
but they're
got,
talking about it this one
John
time.
Lewis Deere. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm not
so there
saying
are-
that they don't do it. I'm saying that in
In
that
that
particular,
moment,
in
in
that
that
moment,
moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's so funny. Before, as I was coming up here, I was listening to Fox and Friends, and
I'm sorry, my condolences.
Hey, I need something to rev me up. Need something to rev me up, and in the end, it was just basically them making me very happy with ourselves. Because what happened was, and I got to talk about one of those clowns. It's like it was like there was a the thing that happened in San Francisco. They chased all the Proud Boys away.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was the guy. Fox and Friends was talking about how Antifa, not Antifa, but
Antifa.
has just attacked some Trump supporters and all this, and they said, yeah, the conservative group that put this together, the organizer was attacked, and here's a picture of him with his teeth knocked out and all this. It's like, yeah, and I'm sitting there going, you're leaving some shit out.
Yeah.
Because anytime you hear Fox News make reference to a conservative organization and not say its name, that means there's something up with that organization.
Right. This isn't the official Trump campaign.
I remember I was watching whatchamacallit, Laura Ingraham. This was when she was on the date during the day.
I got beef with Laura.
And we all do. And it's like
I
read something in the New American. It's some conservative publication, and it says yada yada yada. As soon as she said New American, I knew that they was fucking around because it was New American's produced by the John Birch Society.
Yeah, it is.
and I'm like, what are you trying to pull?
Yep.
This was like in the days of the Tea Party, and
Yeah, no, absolutely. I must confess, and I put it out there. I actually did a couple posts on it. This podcast and everything that we're doing is funded in part by Fox News and Laurie Ingraham and the Overhand Angle. And that is because I basically, out of the starting gate with that Andy No stuff, when they stole that, I don't know if you remember the Black Lives Matter clip where I filmed those toddlers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that you did not give them that crap.
Thank you. So I fucking came at them hard.
It was heartwarming.
I came at them hard, and basically I was like, this is the lawsuit they're going to throw down because I've been representing myself against Trump for 2 years now, and I know how to file a lawsuit. And I basically sent them a message, this is how it's going to go, so why don't we settle right now? You write me a check, and I'm out. And so they did.
And now we all get to drink beer and
That's
party
right.
on till the end of the world.
Well, because that's really, what a lawsuit is it's basically making a determination of how much money it costs to do the illegal thing. Mm-hmm. And that is what's so fucked up about jurisprudence and our legal system in general. And that's, because 2 years ago, before I did this lawsuit with Trump, I was all about, I'm doing it on principle, and I was 100% on principle. But once you do a lawsuit, you see how broken our system is, and it's meaningless.
Absolutely.
It's just write the check, I'm out.
Yeah, after 2 years of litigation, and he learns Latin.
I
And
did,
he's just like, can you just write me like a check at this point, people?
I'm close to 200 motions deep. Where we're into. They just filed a motion in my Trump lawsuit, a thing for summary judgment, which is bullshit. They're trying to relitigate the case. I'm not going to bore you with all this stuff.
I could be a lawyer just listening to him talk about it.
Discovery. I'm hitting them on respondeat superior and fucking alter ego doctrine and all this fucking bullshit. I got them on fucking false imprisonment, assault, battery, all these things, First Amendment things, and it doesn't matter because they keep coming back. In New Hampshire, you're allowed to file for summary judgment as much as you want. I know it's not sexy to talk about this. I'm just saying
it's not sexy at all.
But let me tell you something.
It sucks.
You're going after them. You're fighting
hell
back.
yeah.
And that is what everybody keeps forgetting. That's the other.
Because you can.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the other factor in everything that we have been putting together over the past, not just 4 years, but for decades.
Yeah.
It was like, and it really annoys me. And one of the few fascism guys I was talking to today.
Wait, one of the old guys?
Yeah.
Well, I always say, the fight doesn't end in the streets. You take it into the court.
But see, this is my thing. They just kept on wanting to harp on the fact that Trump is not going to let us do this. Trump is going to get bigger. They're getting stronger. And I'm like, well, kick their ass.
How familiar are you with diffuse fascism?
Dude, very.
Okay.
Darryl, I'm kicking their asses so hard. The New York Times did a write-up and said that I cost them over $100,000. I cost them already.
He hasn't seen it, but at least some missed it.
No, it's not my money.
I got to be fair with refuse fascism.
They're all right. They come out.
They come out. And I'll tell you, the folks in Philly are just top notch.
Awesome.
When it comes
I've
to
never been
actually
there.
putting things on the table.
That sounds cool.
They don't just, it isn't just about just trying to spout off rhetoric. It's about trying to make things happen, and they do. Philly activists I love.
Yeah,
I really want to go to Philly.
Me and Greg Hausch came down about like a year and a half ago. That was like right after that October thing in Providence, the resist Marxism, because like it was needed. And I think that was the thing. There was something gone with the Jewish History Museum. Something fucked up there, but a couple of the guys that were at Resist Marxism and also the New York City 9 thing were also there at, and like you guys definitely stand up. Philly doesn't fuck around.
I would love to go to Philly someday.
Philly is, I moved to Philly to get some Nazis because Jersey Jersey, Nazis are afraid of their own shadow. I mean, the right in general does not like Jersey.
I met you in Jersey, and we've had this conversation a couple times in Lawrenceville. We were at a Trump rally, and it was like high school kids, and InfoWars was going after these high school kids, and both you and I were like, whoa,
during the election?
Yeah, in 2016. It was like 2016. Yeah, okay. We're like, what the fuck are you? You're going after high school kids?
They're just dumb.
And you and I were like the two adults, and we were just like, what? Like InfoWars? What's wrong with you? And we know what's wrong with them.
So
they're hired by Alex
Embry,
Jones.
I think Embry could do my makeup to look like Snooki. I mean, go down to Jersey with that orange.
I could.
That's
Yeah.
a
I could.
Brother.
I already have the orange foundation for this project.
I just want to go on a trip.
Jersey, we got to give you something to do. I mean, Jersey, unfortunately, like I said, right wingers are afraid of their own shadows, so we got to we got to figure out if we can make them come up to Jersey and try to start some crap.
So like a mushrooms trip or like a physical.
Oh, wait a minute! No, let me take that back.
Astral travel.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong because for the next couple of weeks, there's some Trump supporters that have been doing their thing along
the
side of
standouts.
the road.
We have a few of those here
There's
too.
4 of them a day here.
Yeah, 4 a day.
Well, now that they got the attention of BLM, now BLM showing up and countering them. And
that's
of course, leave it to Paul Miller to now get himself famous because now he's going to harass the BLM folks.
Oh, jeez.
And he's got himself video going, N-word lives don't matter.
White lives matter. They always chant that these days.
The other one that we heard was Proud Boys Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah.
That was another one we heard the other day.
Unfortunately for them, not to us.
Yeah, no, screw them.
But Paul, let me tell you something. Paul is trying to get himself out there, and the funny thing is, New Brunswick isn't really big on Nazis. New Brunswick, New Jersey, which is probably why we never really see Paul in the street.
Right.
So it's like it's comedy gold. I mean, I remember one of my biggest street battles was when was like in New Brunswick, and they had some Nazis that were coming from Atlantic City, which is thick with them.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that place was thick with anybody anymore.
The nastiest crew.
Atlantic City.
I thought it was a
Well,
Trump
this was
resort.
back in the day. No, this is kind of like legacy because it's like back in the day there was a crew called the AC Skins, quote unquote Skins.
Okay.
And
like
they killed
racist or anti-racist.
Oh
skins?
no, very.
So they're like Hell's
Okay,
Angels,
I'm
were they
just
running
checking.
stuff? Because Atlantic City's a
You might want
seedy
to say they're running stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
but not anymore because the only thing they have in connection with running is just basically the runs. Because, I mean, they're all just like
Yikes.
older or they do have Crohn's disease. Or they,
aging racist.
Nothing wrong with
Not
that.
a pretty
they're stoned
sight.
out of their minds. Yeah, I don't want to disrespect anybody that has Crohn's disease, but I will disrespect
I know
Skins.
people. I know people.
Yeah.
I have
Same
Crohn's
here.
disease. Let me use your bathroom.
Come on now.
But I'm gonna tell you something. But there is something that is pretty funny about the how they die. One of the founders of the Atlantic City quote unquote skinheads was struck by lightning.
Whoa.
And
Chaos magic.
Chaos magic.
yes, he was working at working on the construction of one of their casinos, and zap.
I bet he wasn't union.
Or
Maybe he was the union leader that kept them out.
There is a problem because he was.
Oh, but that's
And
okay.
it gets worse because he died, struck by lightning.
Act of God.
We was laughing our asses off over this, and then Atlantic City has a memorial where they list the names of workers that have fallen on the job. They were going to add, and his name is Brian Bradley's name to the monument. And I was trying to get them to stop. Do not do this. Do not make it happen because this dude is part of a group that had just recently killed somebody.
Oh shit! Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and they put his name up there on that monument anywhere, and it's still there today.
So he was not disowned by his.
He was not disowned by his union. We
Though
have a problem with that in Jersey.
Yeah.
We have a problem with that in that area. And I mean, that's what really angers me about the union. We got a union guy who's with the New Jersey European American Association.
What is that?
Yeah.
New Jersey
It's a
European
Western
Heritage
civilization
Association.
bullshit. That's like some Jared Taylor shit.
Well, actually, it's Dan D'Ambly, some little weasel that
sounds like a John
that just,
Donahue.
all he does is just post stickers on various spots in New Jersey.
Puts it on his tricorder hat.
But his boy, oh yeah, I dare him. It's so funny because I actually saw him at a Trump rally trying to pass out flyers. He saw me and flipped out.
Oh, they run away?
Well, he started yelling and screaming about me slashing his tires, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
That wasn't me. That was somebody else, but I like them. Let's be friends with them.
Do you have any pictures of them? Seriously, I want to see if I can identify them so I can shake their hand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I will send them a edible arrangement.
Buy them drinks. Buy them a cocktail.
Oh, man. I mean,
that's funny.
But yeah, Dan D'Ambly's our redheaded stepchild in New Jersey.
Ooh.
We had a couple, but they all just keep on just falling by the wayside. But the other guy that's with him is a guy, his name is Ron Sheehy, Sheehy, and I mess with his name all the time. I just call him Ron Sheehy. And he is in the Pipefitters Union.
Okay.
And so, but boy, is he a piece of what? Shit.
Yes. We've got some good people in our pipe fitters unions up here, but some bad ones too. So, it is what it is. I'm sure Jersey is a little more.
Should we go through George Carlin's 7 words you can say? I mean, because you can say them all.
Oh, yeah, I know. This is until Zuckerberg says, you know what, we don't use that kind of language.
Well, no, that's the weird thing is that Zuckerberg is down with the 7 words, the shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cock, sucker, motherfucker, tits. It's like the other things. It's the N word, which I mean Nazi, like you say that, or the F word, FEAG. Like those are the things that Zuck gets zucked about.
Well, yeah, no, I can appreciate that. I wish it was consistent.
Consistent, right? At least has stand for something.
And that's one of the reasons why. I'm always trying to tell people, look, we should not have ever dropped indie media. We should have never abandoned our own web pages and all that. I mean, and more to the point, we need to start going back to that. Why can't we bring back indie media? Why can't we have our own web pages?
I feel like
I have 2. I have 3 web pages. You shut me down on Facebook and Twitter, I'm just like, fine. Go to my website, everyone. I mean... Yeah. We can do that. We can do this there. I mean,
I mean that's where I published my stuff this morning before we went out. I sent out press releases. I didn't do anything on Twitter or Facebook because I knew that's where the cops watch. Yeah. So I figured that's under the radar, and why not just keep it on your own page?
Yeah, I mean that's why I keep. I mean, if I'm going to be on Facebook, if I'm going to be on the IG, or I'm going to be on Twitter or YouTube or anything like that, I recognize it for what it is. There's only but so much I can get away with, and I just frankly do not feel like getting into these silly little battles with folks, especially when I got other things to do. So I got my own website, onepeoplesproject.com, idavox.com, daysofunity.org.
I've been linking it all in the chats.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know you have them all here. I mean, you got to understand, I'm lousy at self-promotion. So I just anytime I do
out there doing the real stuff, it's self-promotion is hard. So, I mean, I you had experience in, what you said, Philly and then in New Jersey. Where do you think is like the biggest hotbed for alt-right, dangerous alt-right activity right now that you are most concerned about?
Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I'm not even being facetious. I'm not even being facetious because, I mean, I would just tell you that you got to remember where the so-called alt-right comes from. It comes from a bunch of people who were... basically tried to stay under the radar so that they can get their stuff in academia, in the boardrooms, away from the streets. No one running around wearing swastikas. You're not going to get away with that. They want real political power.
Right.
So they are going to do anything that they can, including, and this is important, work with people you otherwise hate. Black people, Jewish
Reagan's
people.
11th Commandment.
Yes. Yeah. So when you see any of these Proud Boy knuckleheads,
Rayla, Daje,
or let's just call him Daje by his real name, Sam Johnson,
Rayla Campbell.
It's Sam Johnson.
Yeah, we have his.
Yeah, we just got his
Finally, I've been trying to get that.
Okay.
And Rayla as well. Rayla goes out and calls everybody who's there with BLM racist.
Yeah, I mean,
but she stands with NSC 131.
Yeah, but she stands around with Nazis.
But that's the game. I'm used to the game being played because they always find that black person that will speak for them when and say the things that they can't otherwise say.
Because it gives them a profile.
Right. But it's different when it's like back in the 90s and back in the 80s. Those black men and women were at the very least doing something. like they own a business, or they do have a radio show. Candace Owens and that crowd, this is their job.
This is
to
their
be
job.
assholes to other black people.
Right.
It's like Sam Johnson, I'm just learning about him. This is all he does. But he's particularly apparently he likes to zero in on black women and women of color.
Yes.
He really hates women.
They go
and
just.
I saw that today.
He does.
I saw that today when some woman was talking and he turned around and told her to shut her GD mouth. And I was like, no, you won't talk like that.
And his buddy Rayla there has actually gone and disrupted Monica's rallies that are protect black women.
Yeah,
where black women were speaking, telling their stories in front of the Roxbury Police Department, and telling like heartfelt stories. And Rayla shows up and starts blasting her freaking sirens on her megaphone.
Yeah,
right in front of them. And Rayla's black.
Yeah,
she doesn't know it, but she is. And so she goes up and she's with all these alt-right people, and she's destroying a Black Lives Matter rally basically, and then calling Monica racist for holding it. It's very strange.
That's the thing, and that's
very
the
strange
game that they're playing now.
And she's running against Ayanna Presley, but she never got on the ballot. So.
Of course not. I mean, it's just like that Kim Claylick character who did a web commercial because she's running for office. She's running for Congress in Baltimore. In the 7th district in Maryland.
Okay.
And so she shows herself walking around in Baltimore and saying, "Hey, the Democrats have failed you. You are not from Baltimore. You're from Middle River."
I don't know where.
83% white is all you need to know.
Okay.
But
is she on the ballot?
She's on the ballot.
Rayla didn't even get on the ballot, and they made it easier to get on the ballot this year. And then she started to sue the elections department because she didn't get on the ballot because she didn't get enough signatures.
And
she will not
Sampson
tell me.
Acknowledged it.
Even the other Nazis acknowledged. I'm like, how many signatures did you get, Rayla? She freaks out on me. And even like the other people are like, not enough. I'm like, I know.
Thank you, Sampson.
Thank you, Sampson.
But this is why I say when you ask they got to play the game.
Yeah.
They are only there propping up all the white racists behind them.
That's their job, yeah.
That is their job. That is what they are there to do. Do they believe in what it is they stand for? You know what? Who knows? They're getting paid. No. Honestly.
They get views.
Doubtful. Yeah, doubtful.
It's hard. Honestly, running for office, there's not that many downsides.
No.
You get name recognition. You get a following. There is actually, and I want to say this to people on the left as well, there is no downside to run for office, people. So run for office, please.
Yeah.
Local office.
No downside?
All you get is famous.
Yeah.
If Rayla does it with nothing to stand for,
you got people
imagine running on rent control.
More to the point, you get money.
You get money.
Whenever I see campaigns that aren't going anywhere, I just call them fundraisers.
Because
they
book tours.
Tours.
But here's the fun part. When Pat Buchanan ran for president, he got a whole bunch of money. He didn't spend a lot of the money while he was running because he knew he was going to lose.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, his
that's what Trump was doing.
No,
Trump thought he was going to lose.
Trump never knew he was going to win.
But you know who did it even more efficiently? Well, Pat Buchanan did American Cause, but then that's what he used his campaign funds for eventually.
Yeah.
But Ron Paul, he was when he was running. The only thing he talked about is how he was getting money hand over fist. That's all they talked about. They didn't even talk about trying to win.
Libertarian. I mean, capitalism.
But see, the thing is, when you get campaign donations, you have to and you lose. You don't just give that money back. You have to give that money to a nonprofit.
That's right.
So he started one, Campaign for Liberty.
Right.
Launder it, baby.
Or start a PAC or something. Yeah.
So whenever you see people running and you know that they're not going to win, fundraising.
Rayla's been fundraising for the Tony Fed's Back the Blue at this point because that's a 501c3 that Rayla's part of.
Tony Fed stole our flag in Quincy.
Tony Fed stole our flag.
Oh, by the way, One People's Project is a 501c3.
It's okay. 501c3s are great.
Please donate.
Please donate to One People's Project.
What's the website again?
And by the way, it's like Matthew Heimbach's ex-girlfriend, Matthew Heimbach, a former Nazi, was
Did you ever see my interview with him?
Oh, shoot. Have you ever seen my interview with him? But
I mock him to his face.
Oh, me and him have some pretty decent conversations.
Did you
every
really?
now and again. Yeah.
It's weird because those National Socialists, they're like we have some stuff that's like Bernie Sanders. We're all for like socialized healthcare.
We like socialism,
but we're also nationalists,
but only for white
people.
And
we like Hitler.
Right.
You know, like
I think one of the problems that we also have too in regards to trying to stay politically palatable, and I can get to Matthew Heimbach's ex-girlfriend decided to expose One People's Project as a 501c3.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What?
Yeah.
But back to this. One of the things that also becomes problematic, and has always been problematic, is Libertarian Politics 2020.
Oh yeah.
Man.
The one thing. Look. I don't like dissing libertarians. I really don't. I remember the history. I know where it comes from.
I liked them when they were all about weed.
It comes from anarchism. It's a lefty concept.
Yes, if you read Anarchism, if you watch the DVD Anarchism in America, you're really gonna get a kick out of it. It's an old one going back about 1980 or something like that. But anyway, what they have, just like fascists always do, they co-opted this and turned it into something that it was not. Now they can say, now they can be fascist. Now they can be racist.
Well, it's all about privatized tyranny now, and that's what one of the points that Chomsky hammers home. Even though Chomsky's kind of fucking up himself, but that's a whole other story. But back in the day when Chomsky was legit, he was talking about the fact that it's privatized tyranny, that we live in a corporatocracy, and thereby the new fascism is the corporation, and this is the thing that the libertarians are embracing it, whether they acknowledge it or not.
So what would you define yourself? I don't even know what I would answer to this question, but how would you define yourself on the political?
Well, I say I'm an anarchist, but that's
cool.
But it does come off as being provocative. So one of the other things that I will say, that I say sparingly, I say I'm a libertarian in the classic sense.
Okay,
sure.
So
in the classic sense.
Well, a classical libertarian is like
that's what I used to know them for.
Well, is basically a socialist anarchist.
Right. I have no problem with that charge.
Okay. All right.
I have no problem with that.
In the classic sense.
Because what's funny is some of these super happy fun America people were libertarians.
Super crappy phony.
Tell me about it, because you know what? I was a cannabis activist for many years before we legalized it in Massachusetts. And these people were running the board of the biggest cannabis organization in Massachusetts. We got them fired. Samson fired this summer because he hangs out with Nazis.
Well, because in this very studio, we did the rundown on Super Happy Fun America, and I fucking nailed all the points at which they were fascist and made sure to get that out to these cannabis activists.
But the thing is, but the thing is, at a certain point in my life, all I wanted was for weed to be legal. And look, there's no shame in that. And I was a big weed activist, right? So these people were like all about putting their heart and soul into legalizing it. And I was like, hell yeah.
Shout out to Mike Crawford.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Crawford, the Young Jerks, and did a lot with that. And, everyone, as soon as everyone saw Samson hanging out with freaking white supremacists, obviously, they had Augustus Invictus at their rally. Yeah, and he caused a huge schism in the cannabis community where all the black people left.
Brought Augustus Invictus here.
Yeah.
Rightfully. Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah. We were there.
Augustus spoke at the first
Why
Boston
didn't
Free
I
Speech.
really should have been up here
Augustus called for the armed revolution against all these commie socialists here. That was at the first Boston Free
Speech. They all
Speech.
got arrested for punching each other,
That's what led up to that post-Charlottesville thing. That's what
that was right at the
Charlottesville. Okay, I do remember that because he was supposed to speak at Charlottesville.
Yeah.
And, also, what's his name with the Salvatore Cipolla? He was at that one. He's talking all this anti-trans, anti-gay stuff.
He was at Charlottesville. I talked to him.
I understand, but he was at the Boston thing in 2017. So it's been going on and on for here, and all these people are connected to it. It's that core group. It's Sansom and
John
Brandon
Hugo as a libertarian.
Well, he came in later, but yeah.
But this is the thing is,
this is their dodge.
As a cannabis activist for many years, I saw these people as people that were allies at one point because we were trying to pass Yes on 4, try to legalize it, and we passed that. But then they took such a turn. And it was so confusing. It also happened with the Pirate Party here, too. A bunch of them went one way into this weird alt-right libertarian, let's pass out pamphlets.
Would one Jesus go? What is that thing that QAnon does?
Oh, when we go one, we go all, or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird, because
I
knew these people. I knew these people before this was a thing that they were doing. I don't know.
Before they revealed that they're crazy.
I'm a white girl, so maybe they were never racist to me, so I didn't notice. But, they were doing cannabis activism when, we were trying to legalize it here, and it was important. And then they just turned. Mm-hmm. They turned before that a little bit. But
I'll be honest with you. A lot of times, this is why I'm wary of libertarianism today.
Yeah, now I'm so sketched out by libertarians. Yeah.
When they were trying to take over Occupy.
Right.
Geez.
Oh, what was that guy? That guy that's looks like a Satan.
Vermin Supreme?
No, not your friend. No, the other guy.
I don't know.
No, he's it's like a cult. Something with an R.
Ron Jeremy?
No,
what the fuck are you talking about?
No, they would show up.
The red robe.
Ron Paul? No.
No.
I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes, those people. They're weird.
What?
They would show up at Occupy. It was like a weird, like.
I'm not familiar. I'm
they
not
have these
familiar.
They're
red robes,
libertarian. Yeah, they wear robe. They're libertarian though, or something. It's like a.
Tea Party people?
No,
No. It's like some weird, like.
Some other faction?
I'll have to look at. I honestly,
Yeah.
it's been years.
No, get back on point.
It's
Yeah,
something that
sorry.
we would make up. It's something we would try to make up.
It wasn't a
probably.
joke for them though.
But, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It was
But
like
not
a hell.
made up.
It was like
It seemed like a comic book thing, like
kind of
Anton
was.
LaVey or something.
It was like it was Anto. Yeah, it might have been him.
What?
No, LaVey's dead.
Dead,
No,
yeah.
but it wasn't him. It was something. But that sounds like
Some
along
cult? Is it a cult?
I don't know. It's like a weird libertarian cult.
I don't fucking know.
All right, I'll get back to that.
I've seen the live stream.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. I'm not making this up.
I'm not saying
It's
you
the thing
are.
you would-
LaRouche, LaRouche.
LaRouche.
LaRouche. There we go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that guy's
That
fucked
is-
up.
that-
I
thank
argued
you,
with
Kevin.
that. Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
That is no. No.
No, Kevin was the one who named the name, so I could get on the tip of my tongue. He was everywhere at Occupy, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a different. That's a different animal.
I argued with those
altogether.
guys all
They
until I was blue in the face.
basically.
They would bring out the Obama Nazi things, like before there
Where'd
was
they
even,
go?
They're still oh,
They're
believe
around, but
me.
it's not the same
I'm
thing.
dealing with one of them. It's a Greek dude named Christos down in
Of course, it's Christos.
in New Brunswick. He's from
Okay.
Edison, New Jersey. Yes, it's
I'm-
named after Edison.
I'm just so glad I wasn't making this up in my long
no,
lost
the
memories.
LaRouches are a different freaking animal.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
crazy.
They believe that the church that the United States is still being run by the Queen of England.
Oh,
Right.
that's confusing.
It's like the flat Earth.
That's
of
basically the
America.
LaRouches in the nutshell.
I never got that far with them.
Through the banks? How so?
I thought they wanted to end the
drug
Fed.
money.
What?
Oh, like Prince Andrew stuff?
Yeah,
or whatever?
I mean-
okay.
Okay, all right.
They think that the England monarchy is still running the U.S. via drugs or something like that.
Like some deep state
and
shit.
I mean that's the begin. And
Conspiracy
they
bullshit.
except this is the granddaddy of it all. Lyndon
Yeah, they were
LaRouche,
around then. They were around back
who
then.
just died.
But he's dead. Yeah,
He's dead
We
now?
think.
Okay.
He's dead.
He's out and he's hiding. He's in hiding.
If I know we're talking if we this is one of those behind the bastards kind of thing, man. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten to this guy yet. But it's kind of like
Fascinating.
but probably because he's still Robert Evans basically because Bob trying to figure out what
Hollywood
how
Robert
do I
Evans?
explain this?
I honestly barely processed it when I met them at Occupy.
No,
I was like, I don't know what's going on right
you
now.
want to argue with them, but you don't know how.
It's like Dr. Shiva.
Libertarians are easy to argue with.
Yeah.
LaRouches, you're going. I mean, I can argue with QAnon before I can argue with LaRouche.
It's like a flat Earth.
You wanna come-
situation.
You wanna-
QAnon people are crazy. They're-
QAnon makes shit up as they go along.
it's
They
fine.
don't even know.
LaRouches, it's like you do you.
Do you know Dr. Shiva?
Huh?
We got this guy, Dr. Shiva,
Here we go.
running against Elizabeth Warren up here.
Oh boy.
News
He,
can be brought up.
he thinks that, well, no, he likes to argue, right? Because I cannot figure out how to troll this guy because this guy knows about microbiology. He's saying COVID isn't real.
He's got 3 masters.
He's got 3 master's degrees. Oh, he invented email, I believe he claimed. And he's running against Elizabeth Warren for Senate. Always.
losing.
Yeah, well, obviously. But he shows up to like different places and screams into the clouds off on a soapbox. But he shows up to all the super happy Fun America stuff. He did a whole tour all over Boston today. We missed just because
Was he here today?
he wasn't there with them today, but he was doing a bunch of other stuff. And my
Okay.
friends were like, want to go troll Shiva? I'm like, I don't know how. He makes up science, and I don't even know the words yet.
I mean, he also ran away from you when we were.
And he runs away from me whenever I
yeah.
show up. But I had a giant dick.
Yeah, well, I
You
had the
giant.
dick.
You had the dick.
I
that
had the
time.
dick.
Yeah, he
Dick
didn't-
interviewed the poster.
Yeah, yeah. But like, so this guy claims COVID is fake, masks aren't real,
respect that.
and he. What's weird is though he's
NASA is real?
No, masks aren't like they don't work.
They don't
It
do
doesn't make
anything.
any
Okay,
sense.
okay,
you know,
okay.
he's, you know, he,
So
he-
far
he-
so good.
He tries to set up debates with Dr. Fauci, and then obviously
Yep,
it
so
doesn't
far so good.
happen.
The crazy is still there, but you can
But
deal with it.
he's like MIT smart in his the way he talks.
At least he knows the words.
He knows a lot of
He
words,
Yeah.
knows a lot of big words.
Yeah.
big words, and I don't know. but
Does he have 3 masters? Is
he-
that his
He was
real
married.
name?
He was married to the nanny, Fran Drescher. I swear to God.
Hey, Lauren,
Wikipedia.
Yep, look this guy up. So what's weird is there's a strange following in the gay community
There is.
of Dr. Shiva.
There is, and I don't know why. I don't.
I
get
think
the
I
appeal.
think that he is secretly in the closet, according to my latest source.
I don't know.
and he's been hanging out with my
I don't
latest
know.
source.
I don't know. He doesn't make my gaydar go off. So
I mean,
and then mine is like.
You've got to find me
I've got a
gaydar.
perfect record.
So it's very strange because Dr. Shiva is everywhere. He's got billboards on the highway. He's at all the Trump rallies. He's all over this, and we cannot figure out how to argue with this guy. He's even more confusing.
He has a Wikipedia page himself, apparently.
He's a big deal. He's never going to win. But
what I'd like to do is I'd like to see a video of him using his logic, because I want to see which words he's using, how he's using them, so that way I can figure out what his bullshit is. Because I can speak a little bit of science.
You're kind of smart.
Well,
you probably know.
You probably could go toe to toe with Shiva.
I just know a lot of friends that are actually into microbiology.
Oh, like they work like in Kendall and like at a biotech.
They're smart enough to put it in layman's terms that I feel like I understand.
We're talking about Dr. Shiva.
So if I see how he's using these words, I could probably unravel that.
But the stuff he's promoting is extremely dangerous because he's telling his disciples, campaign workers, I'm not sure how to qualify them, to not wear masks, and then to come at people who are. And he hangs out with Rayla. He hangs out with Super Happy. He goes to Trump rallies. I mean,
when we were at the Trump rally, he was one of his disciples, as you were calling him, told us not to wear the masks around him.
Yeah.
Literally asked us to rip it down, and we had like a 10-20 minute debate with him about why masks were important.
It was very strange. It was all very strange.
Weird.
I remember this email.
Yes, he invented email supposedly. Yeah. It's a really tough troll to crack.
Yeah, it's he created something that he called email, but he didn't create email as a 14-year-old student at Livingston High School in New Jersey. It was soft. Oh, good grief.
I know. I said, that's one of my. I would love to school him.
You don't know how?
I got a degree from night school, people. I don't know. I don't have the
got
words.
3 degrees. I think they're legit, but I mean, and he was married with Fran Drescher for 2 years because I think she probably just looked at him going, "You told me you invented email and you lied to me."
I would love to do an Oprah style interview tell-all with Fran Drescher.
But oh boy.
Then again, I'm not even sure where she is right now.
One of my people actually wants me to see if, because they're going to do a movie about me too soon, or a TV show about me.
Ooh.
And my friend wants me to see if Fran Drescher would play her, and I'm just like, does she do anything anymore? And,
I mean, she was married to Shiva, so I'm not sure.
Shiva probably finished her off.
Well, you know what? I'm done. Solidarity with Fran.
Yeah, much love to Fran.
Yeah.
And
what about that chick that played Elaine on Seinfeld? That's kind of, you could always have her.
Julia
like
Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have some because this is the new. All right, this is something that I haven't been talking about much anymore. All that much now, I should say, these days, because it's still in the planning stages. But we are talking about it. For those who don't know, there is a movie called Skin that you can see on Amazon Prime and DirecTV, and it was something that we shot in 2018. It was released in 2018. It stars. I helped neo-Nazis get out.
Good. So I really want to learn those skills.
Well, it's not
because I'm ready for Samson to break.
Being there when it's time for them to break, but we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But this one particular dude, he had he was a part of he was one of the top enforcers of the Vinlanders Social Club, which would be known as the guy.
Good.
They're not good.
Doesn't sound good.
How bad are they? Well, the guy who founded the Vinlanders Social Club also founded the American Guard. Yes, Brian James.
Oh wait, isn't that Camden's New Hampshire branch? Yeah. Okay.
Crew.
It's awesome.
So and he's a Proud Boy.
Lovely.
So that's where we are with that crowd. So if you ever hear any of them trying to avoid being called Nazis, tell them you cannot escape this. No.
Exactly.
No. But anyway, he had tattoos on his face, and because that was a Vinlander thing, and he just basically had the tattoos removed.
Okay.
And a real good deal. And so they did a movie about him. They did a documentary first called Erasing Hate, and then they did a movie about him where you have Jamie Bell, who played Billy Elliot. People are famous for
Yep.
Billy Elliot.
That was a great movie. I like dance. So.
And so he played Brian. Played Brian. There's a woman named Danielle McDonald, who some folks might remember from Bird Box, and what's the name of the female rapper?
Which one?
No, this is a female rapper from New Jersey.
Which one?
This was back in 2017.
Which one?
Oh, good grief! I'm gonna have to look it up. It's so unfortunate.
Missy Elliott.
But No, this is a white female
That was the
rapper.
90s.
Oh, Izzy Azalea?
No, she wasn't playing Iggy
Azalea.
Azalea, although she is Australian.
Lady Sovereign.
No,
wait,
she's not playing a
UK.
real rapper. This was just something. This was just a movie about a
Fictional?
Yeah, this was a fictional rapper.
It's getting too heady now.
But Danielle McDonald is in the movie.
We're gonna talk
If you're watching Fear the Walking Dead, Zoe Colletti's in it,
Cool.
and Mike Coulter, who everybody knows as Luke Cage, and probably see him in TV show Evil, plays me. And
Nice.
wow.
Wow.
So anyway, now that movie is done, people like the movie. It's a real good movie. I want everybody to watch it.
Say the name
Now,
again.
huh?
What's the name again?
Skin.
I'm just set to get it out there to the people.
And for the record,
and where can
if
they
you go-
find it? Where
if
can
you-
they find it?
They can find it on Amazon Prime, and
There
they can
you go.
find it on DirecTV because DirecTV
It's
also
Skin,
owns it.
everyone.
Yes, and bear in mind, if you see Skin on YouTube, that is the short film that was also produced by us. That's the one that won the Oscar in 2019.
Boom.
So,
Wow.
and trust me when I say you're really gonna love that movie.
All right.
Look at the short film. You're gonna get a kick out of it. Trust me. If you're anti-fascist, this is like anti-fascism written by somebody who works for Black Mirror.
Movie
that.
party.
Picture it like that.
Fantastic.
This is like Black Mirror anti-fascism.
And that's our next movie night, folks. Yeah, awesome. Love
but
it.
anyway, but it's only 20 minutes long. So,
Okay.
But anyway, after everything was all said and done, they said, you know what? We really got to do a movie about you. We really got to tell your story and all that. So they got, and you're gonna. So they got this planned out where they're gonna probably gonna be a series, probably gonna be a movie. We got a script to write. Somebody that's familiar to this area by the name of Elgin James is gonna be our screenwriter. Elgin James was anti-fascist up here. He started a group called Friends Stand United, also known as Fuck Shit Up.
Unitarian?
There you go.
Yeah. Was back in the day.
Unitarian?
I don't know if he's a Unitarian type, but they were.
I just remember some friends.
Basically, their mission was
friends that were Unitarian. I don't know.
no, he's not a fascist. He's anti.
Anti-fascist friends
Yeah,
that were
yeah.
like Unitarian. I don't know. It was
No,
like,
this dude.
There's
No,
a
this
lot
dude
of
here.
Okay.
crossover
His
with
mission
that.
was chasing all the Nazis out of the punk scene.
hell yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Dave
I
Tree
know.
would love that.
Oh yeah, Dave Tree probably already knows
He
that.
probably does.
Yeah.
He'll probably let me know
He
as soon
probably
as I
knows
ask.
He will know Elgin. He will know
Okay,
Elgin.
cool.
So
Yeah.
I
We
would
should
say,
bring it up.
So I would say that
Dave in here.
so he's working with the screenplay, and he actually knows a friend of mine. I was bringing this up with the Bouncing Souls on a video that I had with them.
The Bouncing Souls.
They're a punk band out of
Yes,
Jersey.
I know.
Yes. We go back. Me and the Bouncing Souls go back.
Oh yeah.
No, but anyway, I'm gonna drop another name.
It's like
though.
all my conversations with John Kasich. He's like,
I'm name dropping like crazy just to basically frame this.
Get
so-
it out
Yeah,
there.
no, makes
But I
sense.
got- frame-
I won an Oscar. I know all these famous people.
Yeah, but see, the reason why I'm doing that is just simply because I generally don't. But it's just to give it because a lot of people probably never
Daryl,
heard of me
we
before.
love you. We need more people to know this.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. We was working to put this together with Chadwick Boseman.
Wow.
Yeah.
No shit.
Chadwick Boseman was all about this project.
Wow.
And it's still it looks like it's still going to go forward. But I got a chance to talk to him once. But he was all about this. So I think everybody is on the on that position, on that footing that says, yeah, we got to just keep this going. So
Yeah.
hopefully hopefully we'll be able to put something together soon. And that's the kind of things that we want to do, and we want to put together to get things out there. One of the other things, while we was also shooting Skin, to your point, somebody was asking me, where are there programs that will help people get out of white power scenes, which would be cool.
Yeah.
And I said, can I put it together? Now you have groups like Life After Hate out there, of course, but my attitude about it is, yeah, I have no problem. I mean, I would love to do that, but let me tell you something. If I'm going to help neo-Nazis get out of their white power gangs and white power scenes, they're not the only ones I'm going to help.
Right.
Gangbangers. I'm going to help folks from
right. What about the women who just get out of prison for conspiracy charges that they've been doing like 3 years plus for?
Well, see,
you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more people to help first.
There's another thing that One People's Project wants to do.
Yeah.
And this comes from my mother, actually, because she wants was talking about starting a women's shelter in Jersey, and I'm just like, you know what? And I say this. I said it earlier to be funny, even though I would like people to donate to One People's Project. We're a 501c3. We're in the position to create something like that.
Yeah, and you should, especially for COVID.
We should. I think we do have to do a lot more. And we was joking around earlier. We do have to do a lot more than just chasing Nazis around.
Yes,
because we don't have a lot of them in Jersey to begin with.
Right, and there are people who like really need help.
Yeah.
That through no fault of their own are the people with the least.
Right.
And that's because of systemic racism, capitalism, all of this stuff. And at a certain point, like, let's keep human beings alive.
Yeah. And let's keep human beings alive with a good life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
even better.
There's a difference between just breathing and thriving.
Right.
And as someone who, I grew up in a very wealthy situation, but I also grew up in a very conservative situation. Mm-hmm. My dad's a 3%er.
Oof.
Mm-hmm. I said hi.
Yeah, it'll be a conversation to have. But my dad's a 3%er, and my mom abused me. My mom created fake paperwork when I was 17 to get me to have an abortion I never wanted to have.
Wow.
So that was my childhood. Grew up in the South, and then I moved up here and moved here with nothing. There was a period where I was homeless, and I wanted someone to help lift me up. I was breathing. I was, taking those breaths. I was doing what I needed to be alive. But I wasn't. There was a difference between surviving and thriving. Right, and I still haven't found my thriving point yet.
So
I want people that were in my situation and that have been there to have something to look up to have that growth, that they see someone coming from nothing to come up and be somebody.
So
exactly. Go on.
So what's a 3%er? We have questions from the audience.
Okay.
Define 3%er.
3%er back. I'm trying to remember. It was from the revolution. It was like the 3% that were actually radicalized. I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly.
Who knows the answer to this?
Rod knows it better than I do.
So the concept is that in any given revolution, specifically the American Revolution, it is 3% of the population what actually does the revolution, that does the gangster shit, that keeps back the evil tide of the redcoats. And so that was the idea. 3% fucking turned on King George, and they're saying now when fascism comes, and they're talking about the lefties.
Right.
Because we're so fascist.
They think we're the fascists.
They're the 3% that's going to go get the Antifa.
Not to give
they want their
Washington
boogaloo.
or the so-called founding fathers credit, but if the 3%ers today were around back then, they would have been shot by those people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They would have been the redcoats.
They're basically a neo-Nazi militia.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing else around that.
Sounds lovely.
They're great. That's what I was raised under.
Wow,
Apple couldn't have fallen further from the tree.
We are happy to have you here with us now.
I was supposed to be a trophy wife, and now I'm a leftist that got my heart ripped out playing Trump.
You can be. I'll be your wife. Yes, you're doing a better job now, living your best life. So what one of these things. Back to the surviving, thriving topic. I know we do need to wrap it up. This is one of the issues that has been coming up a lot, especially given COVID. Mm-hmm. With this pandemic, nobody has a job. There's tons of money in our country, and why are people on the street? Why are people homeless? Why are people hungry? And it's so frustrating. Like, humans get it together, greed, all this. So anything that this project is doing to just stop this basic. How can you say that this homeless guy didn't pick themselves up by their bootstraps, fuck them kind of thing, like anything,
or who's going to be the last homeless
right, like I said about evictions, the eviction
straits,
moratorium. I said, how can you ask a family to be the last family to be evicted before you decide there's enough data to extend the eviction moratorium?
See, this is all the more reason why I keep saying we cannot rely on our politicians. We can't.
No, we
matter
cannot.
how this election goes, there's still going to be a problem.
Exactly.
Whether or not you're not just dealing with FASH, but we're just dealing with everyday life. And that's all the more reason why I keep on saying we have to build our own spaces.
Yes.
We have to maintain our own internet presence.
Mutual aid.
Without being told without Facebook telling us that we can have one and
Right.
things like that. I mean, autonomy is important as hell.
Right.
And anything such as this podcast or whatever is a step in that direction. This center is a step in that direction. If you are going to be worth a damn in the end, you are going to establish institutions that are apart from the institutions that were given us.
Right.
Because they're not working all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not working at all. In fact, it's important to do that because if you have to rely on those institutions, you can be screwed. We're sitting there talking about women's centers. There's a women's center right now catching hell in Wisconsin simply because they put up a sign on their wall that said Black Lives Matter.
Oh, no.
So what did they do? The municipality took $25,000 out of their funding, and the local police decided that they are no longer going to refer any women to that center.
That's messed
now,
up.
Somewhere on Twitter, on my Twitter feed, Daryle Lamont Jenkins is a GoFundMe for that particular center.
That's insane.
And they got more than their $25,000 right now.
Good.
So they lost that war. But there's other domestic violence centers that are catching hell by the police doing that. And we got
Monica's catching hell from everybody, yeah.
The cops getting mad at domestic violence centers. I wonder why when you take a look at the stats of domestic violence going on among cops. But my point is
40%. 40%.
That's what's reported.
But my point is they shouldn't have to rely on the cops to refer. They shouldn't have to rely on those municipalities, and apparently they don't, for that money. It's nice to have, but when you try to screw us over because you can't get over yourself about Black Lives Matter or something like that, a bunch of men telling women that you cannot protect other women because we say so?
Yeah.
No, that's when you realize that kind of thing is when you realize that your autonomy is compromised.
And that's when you become an anarchist.
So, and,
Yes.
and I don't want to keep you ever. We do want to wrap it up, but before we go, I want to kind of touch upon.
That's insane. We got to get the name of that.
Yeah, like what is it like that? That needs to be said to, say, the white soccer mom or, like, the rest of middle America.
The Karens.
Who are just not getting this. You heard in a letter to a Birmingham or a letter from a Birmingham jail. Yeah, like, they talk about the centrist or whatever. Like, so what did you say to them, like, to get across that Black Lives Matter is not some evil incarnate that's going to, fuck with you? Like what is it that you say to those people to get across to them?
Well, basically, I try to figure out where they're at. They're trying to figure out whether or not Black Lives Matter is worth a damn.
Yeah, yeah.
If I have to tell you that Black Lives Matter is worth a damn, there might not be much discussion. We're just gonna have to just show you, because apparently you're not getting it either intentionally or unintentionally, and I don't have time for that bullshit.
Right.
Now I am going to talk to you,
but isn't that the crux of the matter? Is
well, there's people who argue with tactics. People who argue about what about Antifa? What about looting? There's people who are
all
like
cliche shit. I mean, the same thing that they say about Antifa. Same thing they say about us, they said about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
They said about Occupy. They say about anti-war movements. They look at that's one of the reasons, and one of the reasons thing to remember is that they're trying so hard to convince everybody that Antifa is an organization. Antifa is not an organization. Antifa is an ideal, and they mock that.
Even Joe Biden said that.
Yes, and it's absolutely. Joe Biden gets it. This one's out.
I don't know about that, but he certainly said it.
Just understood one thing.
The clock's right. It's twice
Yeah.
a day.
The clock's right twice a day, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, my feeling is about that, and by the way, that's that domestic violence center. I'm just showing Lauren that. But the thing about that is that they're making it so damn important that Antifa is an organization.
Oh, yes.
And-
with a structure and board meetings.
And the truth of the matter is, the reason why they have to do that is because they have to have something tangible to go after in the public eye. They have, and a belief means that they're being thought police. It means that they're going after you because of what you believe. They want to attack you because you're anti-fascist and believe that Black Lives Matter. So yeah, I'm down with Black Lives Matter, but not the organization. Oh. Shut up. It's not like you're in the streets with us.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's never people out there that say this stuff.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you're after the organization. You're not against Muslims, you're against terrorism. But interestingly enough, every black person is attacked by you. Every anti-fascist is attacked by you. Every Muslim is attacked by you. So apparently you do have a problem with us.
Yeah. Why don't you just say you don't like
now
black
we
people?
have a problem with you. So you should have a problem with all of us.
Right. It's like, people want to say, oh, well, I got a problem. Somebody lit fire to a target, and it's like, no, that's not your problem. That wasn't even here. You haven't been out here. You just don't like black people. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about First Amendment and Kyle Rittenhouse and split hairs about, oh, well, I'm Black Irish, so I've been oppressed too, and I'm just like, you know what? Just say you're racist and get it over with, and let's move on.
It's not because after a while, I basically tell them, you guys aren't fooling anybody. But I have a black friend. He's wearing a Nazi T-shirt.
Yeah, right, Rayla. Yeah, and all that, and it gets really frustrating because they always want to try to do this split hair mental gymnastics, and I'm not a parkour specialist myself, so it gets very, especially if you're out here day after day, and the people I see out here day after day. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Shimmy. Shout out to Ashawn. Shout out to Monica. Shout out to all the people that we see every day in the streets. All of you.
Yep.
I trust them. Mm-hmm. I trust their opinions. I trust, if I do something, if I say something fucked up by accident, anything.
Shimmy's killing it.
Shimmy's killing it. He's feeding homeless people every weekend, doing clothing drives. And all of even the old guard. I want to say Tito Jackson. All these people out here that are old guard.
Tito Jackson.
Not the no relation. No, he ran for mayor a few years ago. He's a friend
Tito Jackson ran for mayor.
He's like an actual Boston figure.
Yeah, he's a Boston activist. Okay. Yeah,
he must get that a lot.
Oh yeah, every time
listening to this, Tito, I am so sorry.
Tito's the man. You love him. He's great. He's great. He's a cannabis dude too, so he's dope.
I know he's gonna. He's probably listening to this, going, I hate this motherfucker. I really do.
And just people that you see out there every day. I trust them. I trust I trust the PSL, the People's Party for Socialism and Liberation, or whatever they are. They're out there organizing rallies, marching, doing something where DSA is infighting.
And I'm
not trying. I'm not trying to. I'm not
to be real,
trying.
that's another reason why you got to be. And I know I got to split. It's like 6:01.
I know. I hate Zoom meetings. Sorry.
But I know that's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why I say we got to have more things tangible on the ground. You can argue till the cows come home about politics. Yeah. When you start putting something together, when you start making things happen, all the arguments go out the door, and everybody starts producing. That's what everybody starts contributing.
Right.
That's one of the things that that killed NEFAC. I don't know if anybody's familiar with NEFAC, but it was an organization that was around at the time, around for a while, about a decade or so ago. There was not a lot to do. Everything was relatively quiet, so a lot of folks were stewing in their juices. And I'm sorry to NEFAC because I love y'all to death, but they needed something to do.
Just do it. Just do it.
There was nothing, and it was just like, man.
Go find a church that feeds homeless people on the weekends and pack the boxes for them for COVID. Whatever it is.
Northeastern Federation of Anarcho-Capitalists. That's what that was.
What was that called?
Northeastern Federation of Anarcho-Capitalists.
Okay.
Yeah, some folks up here.
Did they have a community garden?
But they could have had a community garden.
They should have had a community garden.
Hey, fuck, my group will be down with putting together a community garden.
Yeah.
If I'll talk with y'all about getting hooked up with the crowd,
cool.
with the crew. Because
Mutual Aid is coming back.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So on that note, Peter Kraprakin, Mutual Aid, Bread.
Sounds like you read books.
The Good Kind of Anarchy, and what does Lauren have to say about Daryle? I mean, Daryle, we love having you here.
Daryle is awesome. Yeah. Daryle, thank you for coming up to Boston today. We hope you were at least entertained.
I was very entertained.
And all your input.
And educated.
Really? Oh,
And
I felt very educated by this podcast today.
Absolutely.
And the
It
show.
was,
I've learned a lot about, your experiences. I really liked the alt-right documentary you were in, but I was happy to learn more.
Yep, let's plug the shit. Let's
Plug the shit.
Run it down. As I said before, Skin you can find on Amazon Prime and on DirecTV. The short film Skin you can find on YouTube. The documentary that was supposed to be about Trump's first year, and then I said, you know what? Why don't you go to Charlottesville and get some footage?
Yeah.
There you go.
And change the whole dynamic of the damn documentary.
We're doing one this year. Same thing, man.
Yep, it's called Alt-Right Age of Rage, and that's
Age
on
of
Netflix. And you can find One People's Project at onepeoplesproject.com. IDAVOX, named after Ida B. Wells. That's IDAVOX. You can find IDAVOX on Twitter at IDAVOXOPP. One People's Project at One People's PROJ. And me at D. Lamont Jenkins on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm on Facebook, but you can't get on because I already have 5,000 people. But you can get on my public page. And that's it.
All right.
And, Renner's Radio.
Renner's Radio. We have State Senator Jamie Eldridge on tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We are going to discuss his new housing bill. He just dropped the HEROES Act with Nika Elguardo because the moratorium ended yesterday.
And the COVID housing bill.
That is going nowhere so fast right now. It sucks, yeah. So this week we're going to be expecting to see about at least 10,000 notices to quit on doors. Everybody stay home. You do not have to leave yet. I will come to your house with pizza and a sousaphone, and we will get you a lawyer, and you do not go to that. You stay in your home.
But that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, yeah.
And for today, thank you everyone for listening, and we're out.
We're out.
All right. Take care.
Peace.